Yo, I wanted to take a break from basketball just for a minute. I'm saying because I noticed there are not a lot of ladies who tune in and stay tuned because they're not interested in basketball. And that's because I'm not talking about something they want to talk about. So I decided to switch gears, stream, see if you ladies wanted to talk about something that, you know, you can chime in on. You know what I'm saying? I can always do sports, but you ladies might have something to say. Man. Hey, you guys, you know what I'm saying? Guys, you know, you can come in here too, but you know, I welcome all comers. But you know, you ladies might have something to say. And I welcome, you know, the conversation. I'm saying, why date outside of your race? You know what I'm saying? Why do it? Why go to the other side, so to speak? Why deal with somebody who's not your color? You know what I'm saying? All right, so story time. Tell y'all a story. I was working with this lady, black woman. Cool chick too. Just to get that out the way, it's not one of those stories where I'm mad about some, nah. So I was talking to her and we were talking about kind of this subject and dating in and out of your race. She didn't tell me who she dated. I didn't really assume, you know, but I was telling her that I had just made a video about marrying an Asian. And I was saying that, you know, black men should, you know, if they're going to go outside of the race, just don't skip over Asians. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you're going to go outside of your race, if you think that that's what you want to do, if you're not having any success, if you feel that your clock is ticking and you want to have some kids and, you know, get your seed out there and marry up or whatever it is. And the sisters, you know, you guys are just not meshing. You know what I'm saying? And you decide that's the route you want to go. All right. So when I was talking about that, it's because of the police. The police aren't, you know, out there killing Asian people. They're killing black people and white people. But they're not out there shooting up Asian people. You know what I'm saying? They just not. It's not. Statistically, this is what I found within the last 5 years. There's only one guy that I believe has been shot by and killed by the police. I think that was a Virginia Tech dude, and that was longer than 5 years ago. So it was a guy and there was another guy who pretty much asked for it. He cut his girlfriend's head off. Who was Asian. They were both Asian. And so I think the police shot and killed him. But basically, both of those guys just kind of lost their doggone mind. So they were out there killing, you know, 30 people and whatnot. So the police did them in. But I noticed that people who are getting shot when it comes to statistics, you guys know this is what I study. I study healthcare, you know, and all things that pertain to it. You know, and a lot of my papers have to do with government. So I have to go on to certain websites, HMO, PPOs, CDC. I have to go through a lot of government websites and gather information in order to write these papers. And some of that comes down to statistics. Anyway, so we were talking, and I told her about the video. And I said, you know, if you want to feel protected, you know, you should have an Asian with you, which is really crazy. And she said, there's some truth to that. And I was like, well, what do you mean? She said, my baby's dad is an Asian. I was like, I didn't see that coming. And then she said, the police stopped me. And he wasn't with me, but my baby was in the back, you know. And he was, you know, asking me questions and whatnot, looking all in the car. And he noticed my child was half Asian. And he was curious about the child because he was going to harass her with what he was doing. He didn't really have a right to stop her. And he was going to harass her until he saw the baby. And when he saw the baby, he actually woke the baby up just to see if the baby was really Asian. So he wakes the baby up, right? Wakes the baby up, you know, looks at the kid for a minute, and he makes a decision not to bother the woman, the black woman, because she had an Asian baby. And the sister knew it. She was like, I knew that's why he left me alone. It's because my child is half Asian, or Blasian is what they call it. And it just solidified what I said, because I made this video a couple of years ago, and it solidified what I said. You know, if you want to be protected, marry an Asian person until they go to war with them again, and then that's not the person you want to be around. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to be problems all day. But right now, it's like, yo, you want to feel protected? Have a whole side of your family that's nothing but Asians. Just have a whole Asian side of your family. And I don't mean like guessing if they're Asian. I mean, you know, there's some people who are black, like this one woman on one of these shows. Her mother was half black and didn't tell the daughter. The daughter came out blonde hair, blue eyes. But the mom had dark hair. And the father was a blonde. But this was back during 48 or something. So the mother wanted to marry a white man. So she hid the fact that her father was a black man, and she wore foundation. She colored. She colored herself white every day. She hid her olive skin from her husband. She wore hats when she went outside, big hats. And for years, she kept her skin color from, I don't know how she did it. Made love to him at night. She wasn't black like me, but she was light skinned, but she had on white foundation to make her look whiter, and she wore it to bed. And the only way that the daughter knew or got suspicious, because when she got older, she started asking her mother, why do you wear foundation to bed? Now, I don't know much about women's ablutions, but I know when you went, listen, I done had plenty of girlfriends who wore foundation to bed, and what does it do? It rubs off on the pillows and the sheets. So this is something that they don't like to do. But nonetheless, when women wear makeup, and then they go to bed, you notice a lot of them wake up looking like somebody else. This woman woke up looking like the same white woman she looked like when she went to bed, and she made sure of that. That was some hella foundation she had on. And she hid it for years until finally the girl got older. And when she got to a teenager and then to an adult, she started investigating her own mother. And then she went to her mom and she was like, Mom, who is my grandfather? And the mom didn't want to talk about it. She ignored her every chance she got. She skipped right over the conversation. She walked away from the daughter. She even got upset about it. Like, don't ask me, until the daughter finally got old enough to corner her mother and was like, I want to know who my grandfather is, and found out that it was a 100% black man. Now, just drink that in. Then the mom passed away. It took years for this woman to find out that she's actually black, but she looks whiter than white. She's 1/3 freaking black. There are people, I'm not talking about that type of color. I'm talking about somebody who looks absolute Asian. What up, Osajai? The way I see it, I knew you were going to come on here. The way I said, the woman is beautiful regardless of race. I don't see. Hey, amen to that. Amen, brother. 100% amen. Not hey, that's all right with me. But there's a huge problem. Oh, okay. If it was that simple, it would be a beautiful world. But it's not that simple. Race means something. Color means something. Money means something. It all means something, and you know it. So just because, listen, I don't know if you got a girlfriend or not, but if you had yourself a dark-skinned African-American, not an African, a dark-skinned African-American woman, you know what I'm saying? I don't mean ghetto. I mean educated, beautiful, smart, classy. I'm talking about one of those. You know what I'm saying? One of those beautiful, just smell good, look good, taking care of themselves in the gym. You had yourself one of those, it would be a far cry than if you had yourself a white woman with the same status. That white woman would get you into things that a black woman just can't do. She can literally get you in the doors that a black woman can't do. She can get the judge away from you and off. She can get the police off of your ass. She can get the judge off of your ass. She can get a lawyer faster than a black woman can. It is what it is. And an Asian woman is a whole different story. That's a whole nother level. That's a whole nother level of energy. When you see a black man with an Asian, it's like two worlds just collided. You stare at them because it's not wrong, but it's uncommon. And then you want to know what he did to get her, which is really the opposite. Probably did nothing. She probably ran up on him. Because black people and Asians both come from Asia. Just like people who are European and Caucasians are not the same people. You know what I'm saying? They don't look at each other as the same people. The people who come from the country of Jordan are the are people who are Caucasian because of the Caucasus Mountains. That's where Caucasian comes from. They live near the Red Sea. It's in the Bible. Then you have the European who are more whiter and more fair-skinned. So you have two different, dynamics working there. But nonetheless, they call themselves both white people, but they don't identify with everything. African and African American are way two different people. This is why the Black Panther has nothing to do with me. As a matter of fact, they were my enemy. The Africans were they're not now, but back during, before we came over here, they were my enemies. Africans and African Americans weren't friends. When we both lived in Africa, we were warring tribes. Excuse me, we weren't warring tribes, we were warring sects. We were warring, we had warring religions. We had two different religions. So Africans and African Americans are not the same people. Black Panther is not talking about African America just because of a part of the movie they had them in Watson, California. That doesn't mean nothing. That just means an African was living in America. That's it. That's it. He wasn't from America. Okay? So it's two different people. It's two different dynamics. African Americans are different. Yeah, people. Yeah, they're different people. We're not the same people. We don't identify with their traditions and their dances, and we don't recognize none of that. They hated us a couple hundred years ago. They hated everything about us. You know what I'm saying? But Asians are more closely related to African Americans than Africans. Africans just look like us. But you got to understand, Jerusalem is in Asia. African Americans came out of Asia. Okay. Yeah, Nigeria. The first question, African Americans. I know that I would, you're a first generation. I know that I wouldn't be accepted by them. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And if it's a good chance that you're dark skinned too. You go over to Nigeria, you might not come back. And Nigeria is a beautiful, fascinating country, but Nigeria is being led by these rulers and who are just crooked as hell, keeping all the money, and then everybody else is poor. Like, they're crooked over there. The diamond mines that are over there are running out. You know what I'm saying? They're looking at getting their visa revoked and something. I mean, if they don't You know what I'm saying? They're running into some serious problems. They have child labor over there. I mean, Nigeria is a rough place. I know some Nigerians, and they'll tell you, you go over to Nigeria, they'll take your passport and come back over here and claim that they're you, and you'll be dead. Now, not everybody from Nigeria is a bad person, but it's just a shame that these stories, you know, happen to be real. Like, that stuff happens. Like, you can't say nothing. Like, they have, they're still tribal over there. So there's tribes that run Nigeria, and they're like the presidents and stuff over there, like they like go to war before they let an election happen that where everybody is in on the election. Like there's people who are killed for voting over there. Like, it's crazy over there. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want who is in power now over there, you're looking at getting your head cut off. You're looking at your women, your children being raped, because they'll take them, they'll rape them, and then they'll bring them back to you. And when they bring her back to you, you don't want her, so now she has to become a streetwalker, or she has to find another way to live because the man no longer wants her. Then, if you look at another tribal member or say something to them wrong, over there they find out what you said or that you looked at them wrong, and they come and get your wife. I'm from England. What up, man? Black American, Black British ain't the absolutely not. Psh, I've been to England. I've been to England. Not the same. Not the same. They're still, but they're, okay, well, let me say it like this. Let me say it like this, Time. Let me say it like this. You're a male, right? Let me say it like this. The Ivory Coast. Okay, yeah, the Ivory Coast took. The French invaded the Ivory Coast, the Dutch, the English, and who are now the Americans. So when they were taking slaves from there, those slaves landed in. They landed in a few different areas. They ain't just come to America. Some of them landed over there who are now Brazilians. There's a whole bunch of them that landed in Brazil. And of course, a lot of them landed in England. So those people, the ones whose descendants were taken from the Ivory Coast, those are our brothers. Now, they're different because of the way they grew up. But the ones who came over here who are Africans are not our brothers. Well, I don't have a problem with accepting somebody else. I don't have a problem accepting suburban. I'm from the hood. I have no problem with suburban Black people. They have a problem with me because they know I'm not from the suburbs. And I can talk all the white I want. I can have 5 or 6 degrees. It don't matter. It's the way I look. The darkness of my skin. My nose is big. They can tell that, what tribe I come from because my nose is big like it is and because I'm tall, you know what I'm saying, and dark skin. They can look at my facial features. They can feel my spiritual energy and they don't like it. Immediately, they will do whatever it takes to stop my progress. Even the women. The women are the first to do it. They look at me and look at my strong features. They don't like it. They're the first to do it. But then you get a few women who look at me and they're just like, absolutely. They look at how big my lips are, how big my nose is. They're like, that is a tribal person. They can see it in me. Now, those ones aren't afraid of me. They're trying to get a hold of my seed, of my essence. They're trying to get a hold of my spirit, and they do it in weird ways. Sometimes they just want to have sex with you. Sometimes they want to actually have your children. They're like, let's have some babies. I've had plenty of women say that to me. Like, let's have some babies. Like, young ladies, like, coming out. I'm just like, I'm in my 40s. Now I'm 50. Young lady, 20 years old, running up on me. Let's have some children. Let's get married and have children. You're just like, wait a minute. But that's how they're nurtured. To me, it's a scary thing because I'm Americanized. But if I was living in the land I came from and a 20 or 18-year-old or even younger than that said that to me, traditionally, it would be a dowry exchange. And that would happen because the father would present her to me. I would have land. I would have property. I would have buildings, so on and so forth. And then the father would present his daughter to me when she became of age, tribal age. Whatever age that is, I don't know, depends on the tribe. So there's different types of ages, and I don't really get into that because it's really sensitive. And because people are so Americanized, and people are so offended that they forget that they all came from these tribes where they did this type of thing. So I leave all that alone because I don't want to be labeled, and I'm not trying to do none of that. But nonetheless, then 18, from 16 to 18, she would be presented. And then once she's presented, if I wanted her, I would be paid a dowry. So the father would give me money and say, take my daughter, have children, and then our families would become one. That's how marriage is supposed to work. You know what I'm saying? Urban Blacks try cracking on me because I'm suburban. And I sound white too, especially on the phone. You know how many job interviews I went to, as soon as they saw me, they were just like, no. I literally had a woman say that to me. I walked into the interview and she said, no, 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 no. That's all she said. And I was like, we're adults here. What's the problem? She said, no. That was it. She was so afraid of me. I didn't get a chance to do anything. They had this little test you had to take. I passed that test. As soon as I walked in there and sat down, she just said no 6 times. And that was it. That was it. I had to get up and leave. I didn't want the job after that, but I needed one. But after that, I was like, it's not for me. I've had a hard time in America. You know what I'm saying? I've had a hard time from both races. You know what I'm saying? Just really, really I'm glad I don't have to work right now because I hated it. I went through a lot of bad stuff, and actually a medium black skin because my mother is light skinned. Okay. And my father is dark skinned, like your complexion. Yeah. I mean, if he's a Nigerian, most Nigerians are dark skinned. Yeah. Yeah. So your medium complexion, you're actually lucky. Because people, the darker skin you are, the more harassed you get out here. But as far as dating women, my preference is dark-skinned women. I've never dated an Asian woman because I'm not really attracted to them. But I think Blasian women are beautiful. I mean, Russell Simmons' wife was gorgeous. She was an idiot, but she's gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? Would I do it? Absolutely. But I like dark-skinned Jews because that's who I am, so that's who I gravitate towards. But I've dated some light-skinned chicks that are just absolutely just like, woo, gorgeous. But I didn't look at them like, you too light-skinned, for the most part. There's one woman I looked at and I thought she was too light-skinned for me. She was pretty, and I was afraid of her. And I was afraid of her because I knew she wanted to be my woman. And every time she saw me, I was like, nah, because if I date you, I know that I'm going to try to hang on to you. And if you cheat on me, I'm going to lose my damn mind. So just to be cool with her, I've never dated her. I never explained that to her either. Every time she sees me, she just stares at me. She's probably wondering, why didn't I ever date her? And that's why. She was too pretty for me. I knew that I would be hanging on to her. Yeah, I knew it. But with the way things are today, how people just cheat on you casually, I knew I was going to lose my marbles. I was like, nah, I can't afford to be in jail for the rest of my life. That's not where God wants me to be. And I know for a fact, if I come home and find another man on top of you, I'm going to lose my grip. That's it. I'm not going to ask no questions. I'm not going to ask, is he the mailman or I'm going to lose it. And whatever happens, happens. And I could see that happening with that one woman. And this is because I've had women do that to me. You know what I'm saying? So she was after me too, like year after year. Every time she saw me, she made it known. Like I knew she would have stuck to me. I knew she'd have been my wife. I knew it. Because she was too pretty. She's educated. You know, she had already had a kid. She was a nice person. Every time we talked, she was nice. But there was just something in my head that just kept flashing forward going, you're going to cheat on me. And I know you're going to cheat on me. I just know it. I feel it. What up, man? We talk about women. Be at ease. How you doing? Yeah. Yeah, 85. What up? We talk about women, man. You like to talk about women. 85, a young man. But I knew she was going to cheat on me. So, yeah, it was a smart decision to leave her alone. And it's you know what the shame is? The shame is that when you see a beautiful woman like that, your automatic reaction is, yeah, let's, you know, especially if you're a young man, like 85 is a young man. You know what I'm saying? You know, you see a beautiful woman, you're just like, yeah, it's about to be on. You know what I'm saying? But you can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't just, yeah, you can't just, if you lived a little bit, like when you young at 19, 20, you just like, yeah, I'm getting that. I'm going to jump in them drawers, and that's going to be my woman or whatever. But I didn't even want to have sex with her. I knew that I was going to get hooked. Even if the only thing I did with her is I hugged her. I wouldn't even kiss her. Caribbean women, I'm telling you, yeah, maybe. You know what I'm saying? I only hugged her. I ain't even squeezed her booty or nothing like that. I made it known. I can't do it because I will be all in with you. I will be like, let's have some babies. And I will lose my mind if I see you mess with my nose. I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it today. I can't do it today, and I'm not even interested in having kids. I can't do it today. Even if I saw her today, I can't, because I still think she'll. So my choice is dark-skinned women. And I done dated some very, very pretty dark-skinned women. Yeah, Tone, listen. Yeah, sometimes it's the Holy Ghost telling you not to do it, and sometimes it's your past telling you not to do it, and sometimes it's your third eye telling you don't do this. The girl sounds like human. Yeah, man. You should saw tall, light skin, athletic shape, nice round ass, and all of her friends was dope. Like, okay, let me tell you how I met her. This how I met her, right? I don't even remember her name. This how I met honey, right? I was with my girl. Yo, I was with my girl, and we were in a department store looking for clothes. And my girl was a real asshole. She thought she was the flyest thing, and she wasn't. She wasn't, but I loved her. You know what I'm saying? And I was trying to work some things out with her. Nah, I didn't meet her in Atlanta, man. This isn't here. I didn't meet any women in Atlanta, man, because I was only in Atlanta for a short time. And I still had women here who were coming to see me down there. So I was full. I'm not a guy who needs to sleep around a lot. I was working a lot, and the girls who were still dating me from here, they was coming to Atlanta to see me. So I had enough, you know, I had all the attention I wanted. But nonetheless, but I did go out to the club a few times in Atlanta. The girl I really loved was here, though, so I was good. But nonetheless, so I met her in the department store. Me and my girl walked in the store. My girl walks in first. She thinks she's cute. I'm like, you better cut that out. You know what I'm saying? Because it was really getting on my nerves, trying to play me like I ain't nothing because you got a degree and you make more money than me. You know what I'm saying? You better, eventually, you better cut that out because I'm going to get a decent job and I'm going to be on somebody else. Nonetheless, so she kept doing that to me everywhere we went. And I kept telling her to stop, and she wouldn't do it. Nonetheless, so we went to this department store, and I'm looking at some clothes, and this beautiful thing just rolled right up on me. See, she saw what my girl was doing. She saw that. She saw a crack in the pavement. She was like, I'm going to get through that. There's a breach that I can get through to get to this dude because this girl is an asshole. And she knew it. And she saw her. She rolled right up on me, and old girl was standing right there. And I was shook. I was like, my girl is right here. She was like, she didn't care. She didn't care if an old girl would have threw hands on it. She did not care. She's like, what's up? So she got to talking to me, and I was just like, nah, I couldn't do it because I was foolishly in love with the wrong chick. But I was like, nah, I can't really rock with you like that. You know what I'm saying? She tried to get my number and everything. I wasn't really interested but she was gorgeous. And then I saw her again at a club, like maybe that same year. And I was with my homeboy, right? And we was playing billiards. Walked in, just about 4 or 5 fine-ass women sitting in the corner, chilling. And me and my dudes playing, and they eyeing us. And I know this old girl, I'm just like, that's Honey from the store. And then I told my dude, I said, listen, like, I know Honey from the store, and that's her friend, and her friend can't keep her eyes off of you. So it was an easy setup for us that night if we wanted to take him home. But my dude had the same feeling I did. He saw her. He saw how there was like 2 or 3 looking at him, and he saw him. And then the DJ said, "Who's screwing tonight?" All of them raised their hand. I was like, hell no. And they was looking at us. I was like, y'all chicks ain't screwing us tonight. Nah, because we know y'all. We know what y'all going to do. I'm going to be right back up here the next day banging somebody else out. And me and him wasn't about that. We was trying to get our paper, man. Those girls could have had us if they would have rolled up on us talking about paper, getting that money. That's what we were on. My dude was a construction worker. I was working for the House of Representatives. We was different, man. We was like, yeah, come with something better than that. You know what I'm saying? He had a girl, I had a girl. Look, if you just another chick, we wasn't interested. We was interested in people. We was interested in women who was going to help us make money and keep money. That's what we was interested in. And those girls was fine, but they just was, their whole vibe was wrong. And they was gorgeous. So my dude was like, nah, I'm not going to do it. And, you know, I talked to a girl for a second, but I couldn't do it, man. So, you know, we both got out of there. I didn't see that girl again till like 10 years later. I'm at the university, and she walks past one of my classrooms. And when she walked past the classroom, she noticed me. And I just looked at her, and she just looked at me, and she stopped. And then she went on because she already knew I can't do it. But she noticed me. I'm 10 years later. That was crazy. So that's how I met Honey. But yeah, she's for real, man. So some women, man, you just look. Some girls or some females, you got to know who you are before you know what I'm saying? Because if you just whip it out and just stick it into any girl, man, you might have yourself some real problems. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no might, you will. You might have. I didn't, you know, I wasn't feeling like this was going to be a relationship that I could build on. And I had enough problems. Now, I could have been wrong. But it's just something in me that just said, don't mess with this girl, man. And I never did. That could have been my wife today. You know what I'm saying? She obviously was on a different route than the girl I was with because that girl cheated on me I don't know how many times. And I eventually had to let her go. You know what I'm saying? But the girl scared me. It's you know, she scared me. And it's like sometimes you'd rather have a girl who you know is an asshole than have a girl who you don't know at all. Like, I don't really know you. But this girl I know is an idiot. I know what she'll do. I know that she ain't about nothing. And I know how far I can go with this girl. Like, I'm not going to marry her, but there's some attributes about her that I like. So I can keep her around and still be okay. But you trying to come with the whole package. I mean, you're talking about the whole pack. Like, that's how you coming at me. If you see my girl right here, I know you're not coming with half of the game. You're not trying to get on me just to smash. That's not what you're trying to do. You want to get on me and have kids. And when you come to me like that, if I think that you not all the way, I don't even want to have that conversation. Marriage for men is not wise right now. But sleeping around is even dumber. Just sleeping with anybody, that is a bad move. That's a bad move. But dating is number one right now. Yeah, dating somebody right now, just dating them, just getting to know people. Hell, even go to speed dating. Just listen, I've been to a couple different countries. You know, I've dated women in different countries. If you guys can get on a boat or a plane and go to another country, do that. You know what I'm saying? But there's plenty, I mean, and I'm saying that because you can meet other women from other countries in this country, but when you actually go to that country, when you set foot in Germany, you'll never hear the N-word. It just isn't there. The Germans, yeah, the Philippines, whole different project. See, in Europe, the racism over there is with a bunch of other races. They're not focused on you. Over here, it's black and white. So when you go over there, nobody's paying you any mind. They're not. The West Germans and the East Germans are fighting with each other. You go over there, those women are swarming on you. You know what I'm saying? Plus, they know you're American. You know, they marry you. They know they can come to America. They know they have a green card. But not everybody is interested in the green card. You can go to Brazil right now. You can go to Brazil right now and get locked down with a beautiful Brazilian chick. But then you have to worry about the AIDS rate. It's heavy in Brazil. It's heavy. Like the slums is real in Brazil. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta fish around, find out who you really dealing with. But can you find somebody good over there? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You might go to Africa and find somebody you might find one of them tribal chicks that's just like, oh no, we're not gonna sleep together. This is my dad. This is my mom. This is my whole tribe. And now you belong to me. That's it. You talk about smashing, they'd be like, oh no, hold on. You can smash after you jump this broom. You can smash all you want. And then try to dip out on one of them? Oh no. You'll have a whole... See, they don't really care about your green card. Some of them Africans, they don't care about your green card. They've been here to America. They have been here back and forth. But when it comes to how many men to women ratio, some countries it's just 14, 15, 20, 30 to 1. But then you go over to Nigeria and the ratio in Nigeria is even. It's 51 to 50%. There's 1% more women in Nigeria than there is to men. So for every man, there's a woman over there. But nonetheless, the men, of course, you know, and the men and the women die off at the same age. It's very interesting because it's overpopulated. You know what I'm saying? Their capital just changed too. It used to be Lagos, but it's something else. Yeah, there's too many fine women in Brazil. Look, there's not only too many fine women in Brazil, there's a lot of them who have no man. And we're talking about from the age, we'll just say 18 I don't know what the legal age is, probably different from different parts of the country, but we'll say 18 to be safe. From 18 on up, you'll find a lot of them don't have no man. None. So you have the ones that don't have no man. Yeah, but it changed. It wasn't always that. So you have the women that okay. So all around the world, you have the women that have no man. You and then there's different factors of that, you know, because of some of them don't want a man. You know, some of them date women. Some of them just don't want it. In the wrong. Yeah, you have some that just don't want a man. You know, you have that small bit. You know, then you have the ones who are at a certain age. They're like, I'm 35. I'm set in my ways. I don't really care about a man to have and to hold, but they'll date. You know what I'm saying? But then you got the Spencers who are 35, and they're just like, they wish they had a man. But when you have ones that are 18 and they're looking at the ratio of 18-year-old boys to 18-year-old girls, and then they're going, there's just not enough men, period. It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with the jail system like it does here in America. We have 2 million people in jail over here in America. They don't have that problem in other countries. It's like the majority of us are not in jail. They're all out here. It's just that when it comes to families, they're having more women, females than there are men. This is why China had the female infanticide and all that other stuff, and you know, the binding feet women and all that other stuff that they went through, and they were killing the women. That China's not the only country that did that. They pretty much saw that the women were pretty much, I'm just going to say it, worthless. They didn't have a value, so they killed them. And then when they stopped killing them because it was just inhumane to do it, they put a restriction on how many children you can have. Therefore saying that, okay, for one, they're overpopulated. I mean, let's just look at that. They're overpopulated. So they're like, no, you can only have so many children. But if you do have a child, we hope it's a male. I mean, it's crazy the beliefs that they have, you know, because if they did that over here in America during World War I and World War II, the workforce was actually the majority of women. They had to roll up their sleeves and get out there. And they became metal workers, and they had all types of trades simply because the men were gone and they were off fighting wars. So the women took over those jobs. And that's why I never understood why'd you do that. I can understand the restriction on how many children you can have because of overpopulation, but just to say a woman isn't worthless, a woman's worthless, so we're just going to kill the female babies, that didn't make any sense to me. And now look at them. A lot of those guys over there can't find a woman. They can't. So it's lopsided for them. It end up hurting them in the long run. You know what I'm saying? It ended up hurting them bad in the long run. But as far as where you should go for, you know, the reason why I opened up this conversation is because people need to widen their expanse. And another thing is the culture sets the trend. And you have to understand that an American culture can deviate. A man can carry on a family, man, a woman. Not really, even though there are some tribes who try that. You know, there's some tribes who have matriarchs, but they can't do it because a man carries the seed. But yeah, family name, crest, and all that family name, this is true. No, this is not Game of Thrones. You know what I'm saying? It's not Game of Thrones. You're not in the South where the women are the ones who carry on a family name. But a lot of people have to understand the culture sets the trend. When I say that, so let's just say you had people who came over here from Angola in Africa. They came over here and they have a certain culture in the way that they do things. Well, if you don't find a bunch of men from Angola over here, then guess what? You're going to have to date who you have if you're looking for a man. That's it, or go back to where you're from. You know what I'm saying? And when you do that, you start dating outside of your race. You know what I'm saying? You start dating outside of your ethnic preference, or you start preferring someone outside of your race or outside of your culture. So you're and then the culture of that country becomes the trend in which you live by. You may have some reminiscent factors. On this day we did this. This is how we eat. You may have that, but now that you're in America, in Rome, you're going to do as the Romans do. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we never went out on Sunday. Now you're at the club on Sunday. Now you're at the club kicking it. My phone is ringing. You know how rare that is? My phone never rings. Anyways, so I just wanted to talk about that. And no idea who that might be. But as far as the ladies, I was hoping to get some women on here, but I don't think I did. I don't think I succeeded. And or they probably showed up and then left. But nonetheless, it's good for you guys too. Because I like talking. Look, I'm probably older than the majority of you. It's a good chance that I got some of you. Hell, I got some of you by 30 years. Oh, this lady here. Okay. Tenashiniko. I butchered that name, but I am so sorry. What is your nationality? That's an interesting name. And thank you for joining us. Okay, so I'm going to continue to talk. Okay, so the reason why I open up some of these conversations is, one, because like I said, I study healthcare. That's my background. And when you study healthcare, it's not just healthcare. You don't just, okay, I study healthcare management. So healthcare management is broad because you can work for one, you can work in any country when you're into healthcare, and then you have to learn different healthcare systems. But you know, healthcare covers so many things. You know what I'm saying? Native American. Okay, that's what's up. So healthcare covers so many things, from men and women issues to culture issues to how a hospital is ran financially to fraud. There's just so many angles you can get into, and when you have that degree, you can dip into. It's kind of like business management. There's so many businesses out there, you can dip into different things. Well, healthcare is too. It's narrowed to healthcare, but it's just so much that has to do with it. But when you start studying healthcare, you start studying history, and you start studying the history of men. When you start studying the history of men, women, why certain people are having babies, why they're not, what is the population going to look like in 20, 30 years from now? Well, Africa's population is going to double. The African population is going to double, where the European population is falling rapidly. Okay, just drink that in. That's a lot. This is by 2050. The African population is doubling by 2050. The European population is falling rapidly right now. So right now in some countries, they're actually telling white people to have children. Now, when you think about that, it's like, why are you telling white people to have? Listen, they're not just telling you to have white children. They're paying them. They're going to white couples and they're paying white couples to have babies. Okay? But nonetheless, when you listen to HSO and World Health Organization, and you listen to them, they're talking about the overpopulation of the world. But nonetheless, you're telling white people to go out and have children. If there's an overpopulation problem, why wouldn't you copy what China's doing? Why wouldn't you try to halt the numbers of the Hispanic, which is going to be the minority pretty soon? That's not what you're doing. You're going to the white population and encourage them to have children. And you're trying to discourage every other population, but you're not doing it in a way to where it's a culling or something like that. You're not just going out and just smashing them all and letting everybody see that you're taking them out of here. You're using different systems like the abortion system, Planned Parenthood. You're using those systems in order to cut down the numbers of the Hispanic and the Black people. That's what they're using. And they're doing that by saying you're not going to get your welfare benefits if you don't subside to the laws of Planned Parenthood. If you don't go in here and get an abortion and yada, 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 you're not going to get your milk and cheese for your other kids and all this other stuff. So they're doing crooked stuff like that. Then they're taking those fetuses and then they're using those fetuses for stem cell research, or so they say. But right there, that's very shaky ground for me. I don't agree with it at all. They will lead to overpopulation of minorities. Yeah. If anyone thinks that it isn't race culling, it's going on. Yeah, it is. That's exactly what's going on. Thank you. Adona Tanishineko. Thank you. That's what I'm getting at. So, okay, let's swing that all back around and get to dating. Now, just say 10, that's what's up. So let's swing that back around and get to dating. Since we have a woman here, I don't know if she's married or not, that's her business. But let's just say that she's a young lady. I don't know what her age is. I'm not asking for that. Let's just say that she's a young lady. She's fresh on the market, fresh out of college, 21 years old, bright-eyed, bushy tail. And she's like, you know what? I would love to have a family. I would love to start a family. Let's just say that she just now is starting to date. Let's say that her boyfriend from high school and college, no. He went his own way. They went their own way. Boom. Now she's fresh on the market. But when she looks at the market, 35 married, very interested in this chat. Thank you very much. Okay, fine. She did give us some information. But nonetheless, okay, so let's just look at her past. Let's just guesstimate her past. I'm just using her as a point of reference of a female's perspective on today's dating range. That's where I'm trying to go with. Let's say that the range of dating for a woman changes pretty much every year. And it changes dramatically because of the number of available males. And I said available males, not males. And that number coexists with a woman's preference, with culture, and there's a lot of other factors that go into that statistics with who is available and who is not available. Okay, so we'll just say that Tan's preference is a man at least 6 feet, because she might be tall. She might be 5'7". So she wants a man at least 6 feet. She has a different type of background. She's not Caucasian. So let's just say that she doesn't want a Caucasian male. She wants to have a darker skinned child. So automatically in her head, she's thinking, my children should look like this. Then she starts looking for the man to match up to that. When my child grows up, I want my child to be tall. You see how this is going? I want my child to be tall. I want my child to be, even down to a profession, I want my child to be a scientist. That narrows out a whole slew of men. Boom. Anybody who's 5'7" and under, she won't even talk to. I'm not interested. Anyone who's Caucasian or very fair-skinned, out the window. I'm not interested. Anyone who's not in college, boom, you don't have a degree, not going to happen. Anyone who did not study some type of science. She didn't even narrow down what type of science it was. She just says some type of science. I want my kid to be didactic, a reader with a hint of athletic ability, but nonetheless, I want some type of sign. It's almost like you go to a sperm bank and you order your child. But nonetheless, a lot of women won't do that because they want the experience of for one, their children knowing who their father is and having a mother and father home. But nonetheless, let's look at that. But then you have feminism. Feminism is whispered in her ear every 5 seconds. 1, you may not need a man. 2, even if you do have a man, just have a baby with him and keep going. 3, don't get married. Marriage is a bad idea. Here's the statistics of why marriage is a bad idea. 4, if you do get married, only marry him for 6 months and then, or 6 months or 6 years or 20 years, then take his pension, boom, and then roll off and marry the gardener. This is what femininity, if not femininity, I'm sorry, feminism. This is the voice of feminism and when it's talking to you. And over here, you got your mom and dad. They're still they're still a family. The mom and dad is still living. You're looking at what mom and dad had, and you're just like, I want what they have over there. But nonetheless, the order of the day is kind of leaning towards this way. So the decisions for a woman dating, it changes year after year because there are different dynamics that are pulling women and men. But when you're talking about somebody who's having a baby, it's different from you than it is for a man. There's pulling women and men in different directions. You know what I'm saying? She's 35, she's married. But nonetheless, somebody 20, 25 who's not married, they have these decisions. And even somebody who is 35 and married, you're looking at, well, to have and to hold, for richer, for poor, for better, for worse, forever do us part. Married, you're looking at, well, to have and to hold, for richer, for poor, for better, for worse, forever do us part. Then the dynamics of, in America, how many women are getting divorced? Notice I didn't say how many couples. I said how many women. How many women decide, I don't want to be married anymore? Feminism. The feminism speaking again in their ear. What will I get? And looking at the court system and all those other drastic features. But it changes. So there is no answer to what somebody should do. But as an older person who's seen a lot of this and who studies in this field, this is what I would tell a young lady right now. For one, don't be so quick to make a decision. For 2, travel outside of the country. Because the rules of this country may not be how you want to live your married life. You might go to another country that has a lot more autonomy in marriage. It doesn't feel like a ball and chain. It doesn't feel like you're ordered to do something. Or you might like the structure of marriage here in America, but you might not like the choices. You might not like the men in the way they think. So you might go grab somebody from the Philippines and get yourself a Filipino man, somebody who's, a lot more aggressive and a lot more protective, and that makes you feel more like a woman. Or you may go and get yourself somebody out of Spain. Somebody's a little hot-blooded, but known for being a lover. Or you get somebody, you know what I'm saying? It all depends. I would tell a woman, date around. Don't sleep around. Date around. You know what I'm saying? Get to know different guys. Just know them. You know what I'm saying? Have a Rolodex of guys from different countries who don't even speak good English. They speak broken English. Get to know the world itself. Travel. Don't be in such a hurry. That's what I would say. And for the women who are married now, I would tell you, if you don't have an abusive husband, if your husband loves God, if you have children by this man, stay with that man. Because you may think the grass is greener. You may think the garden boy just turned 20, look all good, ripped with muscles, and your husband got the, got the third wheel popping. You know what I mean? He got the Huggy Bear. I got the Huggy Bear. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We got the Huggy. But as soon as you leave him, guess what? Your children are going to look at you different. And you're going to have an issue with that. And they're going to have an issue with them. They're going to be like, why'd you leave him? And then you started a line of brokenness, because your children are going to look at that and they're going to think, well, it's okay for them to do it. I'll do it. But here's the thing. You're going to want them to, have a husband or a wife or whatever, and have that, the nucleus of the husband, wife, and then the kids and the grandkids. But they're like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm a girl and just mess around with whoever. And then, if you have grandkids, because there's no guarantee now you're going to have grandkids. If you have grandkids, you'll barely see them because I'll be traveling, to wherever. It starts the broken home starts a trend is where I'm going with that. So you guys got any questions? I'm just, what I'm saying? Just talking. Nobody got any questions? Got any questions, Tam? Anyways, so with my experience, some of the women I've dated, I have dated outside of the country. I dated a German woman. I got on her nerves, though, because I wanted her to teach me how to speak German. One day, we was watching TV in Germany, and I was like, what are they saying? She's like, you seriously want me to sit here and translate everything that they're saying? And, it just, I never asked her again, what they're saying. But I would ask her for little words and try to, speak German and things along that line. Now, let me tell you about the German women when it comes to a black male. If you're a black man in Germany, you are automatically a minority. You're automatically looked at as exotic. You, in your everyday over here, is exotic in Germany. And there's a lot of black guys over there, but nonetheless, the white people the numbers is just ridiculous. You can stand in a field of white people and find like no black people at all. But you're looked at as exotic. So you'll get, some gorgeous white woman will just come out of nowhere and you'll be going like, you talking to me type of thing. That's how it hits you. You know what I'm saying? And they'll roll right up on you. One thing about the Germans is they're not shy. Okay? Europeans aren't shy. You know what I'm saying? They'll bump into you and everything and won't say sorry. Like over there, I saw, I was on a train in France, and a dude got on the train and sat right beside this really, really great looking woman. Sat beside her, and she didn't even she didn't do none of this, and there was none of that. She just kind of went like this. Was nothing. He didn't even notice her. There was plenty of other places to sit too. Now here in America, a woman's automatically going to think this guy's trying to screw me. Like they go that far. They don't go, oh, this guy he's just sitting there. They go, oh, he wants what's in my pants. Over in Europe, nobody cares what's in your pants until you advertise what's in your pants. It's a whole different program. They don't do what we do. They don't act out like we do over there in Europe. They don't go around thinking that every woman over there doesn't go around thinking, oh, you want to screw me. Over here, women do that. It's just like, it's so annoying. Over there, those women don't pay you no mind. You can listen, you can be standing on the train with them and bump into one of them. It's not a big deal. Over here, it's a big deal. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, they want you to say something to them. Because they're aggressive. If you come at them, they come at you. But over here, it's different. It's like women need their space. It's just like, okay, how much space do you need? I think, if a woman is talking about she needs her space, then she should have some type of sign saying, I need this much space. I need you to be about 20 yards from me at all time. All right, fine. Well, when you do that, you're talking about all men. So if you're single, you're going to be very, very, very single. You're going to stay that way. Talking about you need your space. Now, I believe in women need their rights. That's different. You know what I'm saying? You have your rights. But when you talk about your space, well, men misconstrue that and say, well, you just don't want us to talk to you at all. Why is it that we can't say hello to you without you getting mad? Hey, beautiful, how are you? Don't call me beautiful. I'm sorry. I thought that was a cool thing to say. You know, hey, sweetie, how are you? But he called me sweetie. He got into my space. He called me, okay, well, hey, rotten egg, you know, you rotten egg. You know. So women with their rights is one thing. I'm all about women's rights. I'm all about equality. A lot of women don't believe in equality. A man opens the door for you, and one woman said, I wouldn't even walk through the door. Look, if a dude opened the door for me, I'm going to walk through it. I'm not gay. I'll be like, thanks, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, that just happened today. I had my arms full. You know, I had my drinks coming out of the store. Brother, open the door for me. You mean to tell me if a man opens the door for you, you're not going to walk through it because you think that he's saying that you're incapable of opening the door? Like, this is how stupid it is right now. You're suddenly opening the door. Like, this is how stupid it is right now. You're suddenly incapable of opening the door. You think that's what that man thinks? Or do you think he wants to be nice to you and that he was reared this way and that that chivalry is a part of being a man? But if you want to kill chivalry, then guess what? You're going to, all the, helping you over mud puddles and all that. You want to be this big woman who did, I don't need help with anything. Okay, fine. You're taking the man out of the man. You're taking his mannerisms. You're taking what makes him a man and feels like a man. You're taking that from him. Don't nobody think that you can't open the door. He's not going to be around you 24/7. Don't nobody think that you can't fix a doggone tire. A lot of you are brilliant. Hell, a lot of you are designing this stuff nowadays. Why would a man think that you can't do any of those things? Heck, I think a woman can change a tire in a heartbeat. But there's a lot of women who don't want to. Some women hate feminism. They're like, look, fix my tire. Look, I'll go right in this kitchen and cook you a whole dinner if you go out there and change the tire. And you know what a guy will do? Heck yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he can cook. That's just pride of folk. Here in the South, it's normal to always. So thank you. But see, feminism it's ruining the fabric of what men and women not supposed to do, but what they like to do. It's ruining the very makeup of the relationship. That's a relationship right there. It's like, I want to do these things. I'm not saying you're incapable. Look, no man in his right mind is going to marry a woman who's just incapable. Those women get on your nerves. A woman who's always just acting like her, those women get on your nerves. A woman who's always just acting like her doggone finger broke. I can't. That woman ain't good for nothing. Except looking at. They're usually very cute, but you just get sick of that. And you're like, I'm out. I'm going to go get Betty down the street. That chick is, you know what I'm saying? She out there cutting the yard right now. I'm going to go ahead and grab that lawnmower off of her, and I know she could throw down. She going right to the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I used to have a girlfriend. She used to be always like, you hungry? She knew when I was hungry. She'd be like, oh, I know what's wrong with you. You're hungry. She'd head straight for the kitchen. Cook a whole whatever in the hell, but if something happened to that Betty down the street will make you happy. And she'll do it effortlessly. But you got the pretty twerking chick now who has a big ass. And this is why social media is so strange. Because now this is why social media is so strange. Because now the big booty girl is just has a big booty. She doesn't know anything. It's like, and then you mad because somebody just gonna run up in your ass and then leave you. What else do you want them to do? You ain't talking about like I've experienced this. Like, are you kidding me? One girl wanted me to have sex with her. I was like, no, because you are as empty-headed as a This girl, she was attractive too, but this girl was empty-headed, and I knew she was an empty-headed chick. I was like, I can't do it. I need something to cling to. I've had chicks ask to sleep with me, and I'm just like, I just roll my eyes at this one chick. I was like, I just met you a half an hour ago. Like, what? When she saw me exasperated, she never called me. Because that's not what I wanted. I wanted her. I wanted to get to know her. You know what I'm saying? Look, I ain't got no problem with a romp in the hay. But I'm one of those guys who, when I romp in the hay, I want to keep romping in the hay with you. I don't want you to go romping in the hay with 30 other dudes and then come back. Nah, I'm not with that. I'm not with that. And if I feel that's what you're going to do, I'll pass. I'll pass. You know what I do? I go see Betty. But yeah, the simplistic girl, the everyday girl, you know what I'm saying? Those girls, for you guys, man, there's a lot of guys on my channel. For you guys, man, sometimes the makeup, I know some gorgeous girls, man. They're just on the inside, they are destructive. I mean, the way they talk is just like, you can't tell if a guy's talking or a woman's talking. You can't tell if it's a sailor talking or, you know what I mean? It's so destructive and it's so unfeminine. And the very effort of being feminine is just being taken out of the game right now. The more you turn up, the better. I'm telling you guys, don't let social media in your house and destroy what you're supposed to be. Don't learn from social media and have your kids learn from social media and then copy what they're doing, because those people are doing that so they can get views and so they can get money. You know what I'm saying? That's how they're living, going out and fighting and playing a knockout game, going out and twerking in the mall and all that nonsense. Look, if you want to twerk at home. You know what I'm saying? Twerk at home all day. You can knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. Grab your husband like, honey, look, boom, I learned this move. And now they got twerking where you can go and these chicks is run around with yarn up their ass and walking around down the street. And then these chicks want space. It's like you got a piece of yarn on and 2 doggone Band-Aids over your chest, and you want us to respect. I don't respect you. I don't respect not a damn thing you look like right now. I don't care how hot it is outside. There's materials that you can use to cover yourself up and be a damn lady. Right now, you look like a streetwalker. And that's the way I'm looking at you. You look like a hooker to me. I don't have to deal with you, but that's what you look like. You know what I'm saying? And then this whole slut shaming. Don't slut shame me. I had a woman say that to me on social media, and I just wanted to ask her if she had a little girl. So you mean to tell me that when your little girl gets older, it's okay for you? I had a woman say that to me on social media, and I just wanted to ask her if she had a little girl. So you mean to tell me that when your little girl gets older, it's okay for your little girl to be a slut and nobody should correct her? She should sleep with the whole neighborhood, and we should all have the walk of shame in the morning and clap for this goofy girl like we do for that damn stripper, Amber Rose. This is a thing now? This is what you want your daughter to be? A freaking, disease-ridden slut? And you say, don't slut shame me? Somebody needs to slap you in the freaking face for saying that. You should be slut shaming every slut out there. Because, they can, I mean, listen, there's some diseases that will put you in the grave. Not to mention it's just morally wrong. And I just don't know what to do with the world. I don't know what to tell you guys other than, many outside of your race, so we got more diversity. Yeah, there it goes. Sanchez, what's up? Listen, I say this all the time. Go see another country. Listen, even if you're married, I'm going to tell you something. Like, if you're married, go to I'm mixed race and proud. You're daggone right you're proud. Listen, if you're married and you feel like you're in a rut, you're in a everyday, we did this yesterday, we did this last year, it's the same thing. Take a road trip. Get together some pennies if you can. I'm sorry about it. It's okay, man. You were making some good points. You just delivered it wrong. But you can. But if you ever get a chance, even if you're married, if you ever get a chance to go to another country and actually experience what those couples are experiencing, see how those couples are the married couples, and see how they live and see some of the things how they're spicing up their life, and then, and ask them some questions. Like, that's a good retreat to have. It's good for a married couple to do something if you can afford it. I don't know. Some people can afford it, some people can't. But if you can, you know what I'm saying? You can go to some of these beautiful countries and talk to some of these beautiful people and get some great ideas and bring them home and then live off of that. Like, marriage doesn't have to be boring. You know what I'm saying? Marriage is a union. It's something that you have to wake up with every day and practice. You have to go at it because there might be something that's going on that you don't like, but you got to work that out because, it's me and you. That's it. Yeah. What up, man, Klaus? Yeah, we talking about relationships, man. We not talking about sports right now, but you welcome to join in. But yeah, so that's the way I look at marriage. And I always encourage, go to another country. Single or married, guys, I always encourage you, if you're single, start looking at people who live in other countries. It just is what it is. And I'm only saying that because I've been to 5 different countries. And I've dated some women in different countries. You know what I'm saying? And it was good. It was good. But when I was in Germany, I didn't want to marry a German. German woman she was for it. She's like, I love you. She's like, I love you. Ich liebe dich. Ich liebe dich du. Yeah, one night in Bangkok. Yeah, German chick was Ich liebe dich du. I was like, yeah, it's not going to happen. She had a little not Blasian, she had a little half black, half German little girl. Little girl was about 8 or 9. She was cooler than a fan. You know what I mean? But I couldn't do it. It wasn't in me. A little girl used to always walk up to me and go, Kinfin Yets, which means fight now. I'd be like, all right, Kinfin. She's good because I was in the service. So, she assimilated being in the service with fighting, which is, pretty much true. So she'd go, Kinfin Yets, Kinfin, start jumping around. I'd be like, let's go. But it was a cool family, but it just wasn't for me. So I got some family now that dates a Brazilian. All right. And I ain't all the way mad at that because she gorgeous. So, you could, right now there's a huge exodus of African-American men going to this, of African-American men going to Brazil and dating women in Brazil. And of course, the women in Brazil aren't happy with the men who live in Brazil for one reason or another. I don't know. But nonetheless, there's this mass movement of the African-American male. It's hard to find a good woman nowadays. You have to search a lot. Yeah, you do. And the thing about Brazilian women is they're not shy. Like, these women don't have time to be shy. They don't have time to play the booty game with you. Oh, you looking at me? So they ain't doing nothing. They just, what's up? What? You like this over here? What's up? What you got? What you doing? You know what I'm saying? What you got going on? What's up? Where you at? They rolling up on you like that. What's up? How you doing? What's your name? Where you from? You know what I'm saying? They doing things like that. These are average men. This is not a rich man going to Brazil like, yeah, this is an average everyday dude going to Brazil and coming back with a wife. It's just like the women who are going to Bahamas and coming back with husbands. I know 1, 2, 3 women who were either close to that or did that. One woman actually did that. You know what I'm saying? They went to the Bahamas on a trip, came back, and was married. Two women I know did that. The other one was dating the dude, but she didn't want to keep it. So it's very real. Like, so there's a mass exodus, and it's just like, you know, the American woman, especially the African American woman, is losing men and losing the opportunity to have an African American man by second. By literally each second goes down, your chances are going down each second. You think they'd be going up, but no. Each second. There's too many statistics against you. There's too many down low men. There's too many openly gay men. There's too many men who are already married. There's a bunch of them who don't want to be married at all. They don't want nothing to do with the system. They're afraid of the child support system. So they're just like, nope, I'm not doing that. They're afraid of marriage. Then, of course, you got locked up. And then you have the men who just aren't interested in just dating at all. You know what I'm saying? And there's a couple more major ones in there, or some major ones in there, but you got some men really who just, I'm not interested. You know, so I fall into that category. Like, I'm just not, I'm focused on school right now. It's just, I couldn't tell you the last time I've been on a date. I just have no interest. I go to the movies by myself. I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And I see beautiful chicks all the time. I just really don't care, you know, because I don't want to be derailed from what I'm focusing on, you know. Plus, I want to get a master's degree, you know. And so that just takes a lot of effort. And I'm not one of those people who can split my efforts off that way. So right now, the noise of having a relationship and having to keep up with the woman and where you at, what you doing, and keeping her entertained, and let's do that. And I know it's work. And I'm not mad about a woman for needing attention. I'm not mad about that. So I left him alone. I'm like, I can't keep up with you right now. So I'm just going to leave you, you know, you women alone. And I'm sure nobody's crying about that, even though I got a smooth haircut. Ooh, ladies. Yeah, yeah. But nonetheless, so like I know what my lane is. My lane is leave him alone right now. You know, now maybe after I get my master's degree in about 1.5 years, I might take somebody out and get some paninis. See who likes paninis. Like, I'm not even on any of the dating sites or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so none of that. Anybody else got any more questions? I mean, thank you guys for visiting. I don't know if all of you are into sports, but I'm giving away a $25 gift card. So some of you know about this, some of you don't. $25 gift card is for if you can guess the score of the game of the NBA Finals. You have to guess. You have to tell me what 2 teams are going to be in it, what game is going to be won in, like Game 5, Game 6, or Game 7, and what the score is going to be. So if any of you are interested in that, ladies, you're invited to. The drawing will, well, it's not a drawing. Well, as soon as the game is over, Game 7 is over, I'm going to go live and say, this is the person who had the closest score, or not the closest score. You have to have the exact score. And yeah, then I'm going to send that person a $25 gift card to anything that's kind of like normal. You can't have me send it to the Lion's Den to get you like porn or something. I'm not interested in that. So it's usually like to an eatery or something. So Tan, if you win, you know, take your husband out to eat, you know, $25 on me. That cover half the meal, right? I don't know if you got the family and all that, but so, you know, it doesn't cost anybody anything to enter. So you can enter in, and if you win, you win. If you don't, you don't. So there's that. And this music playing is my music. Just to let you guys know that. And yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I don't necessarily discourage dating outside of your race. But there are definitely some benefits to it. You know what I'm saying? Right now, Asian women are really coming at Black women hard. Like, Asian women are really trying to seek out Black men. Like, they're on it, you know. The thing about it is, when you go over, you know, when you see videos of women and men in Asia, you're noticing that, you know, the Chinese people are just like wanting to touch them. They call them go-go jets. They want to touch their skin. They think it's going to rub off or something. But the simple fact that Blasian babies are just cuter than cute, you know, a lot of these young ladies are, you know, angling towards these Black men because they prefer the look of the dark skin of half Asian, half Black children. And their children are very cute. You know what I'm saying? Very, very cute. So right now, it's an enviable thing. You know how Asians go. Asians are very trendy. Very, very, very trendy. So right now, it's like it's a trend to have a Black husband and to squeeze out some, you know, some babies and, you know, look at my Asian, look at my Blasian child, like, you know, and put them on display. It's like it's like a market for Black men now to, you know. So that's what these people are doing. And if a Black man is what they want, that's what they'll get. You know what I'm saying? If an Asian woman is what you want, well, there's a whole nationality out there just trying to get a hold of a Black man. So that's why I encourage, you know, you guys want to travel. Now, you might not want to go over there and start dipping into everybody's sauce. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll hell you and nail you. You go over there and you dip into too many Asian women's sauce, they'll come at you. They will come at you, bro. They'll be like, no, none of that over here. So, but you got the chicks who are just dating around and you got the ones who are serious. So, you know, it's just a suggestion to be careful when you mess around with different races. Any of you ever been to Germany? Any of you ever been to Spain? I've been to Zaragoza, Spain for a night. I was interested. What countries have any of you ever been to? I'm going to go grab a soda real quick. Hold on while you guys put down your comments. I want to know if any of you been to other... I want to know if any of you have dated outside of your race. And what race was it? And what did you like about that race that's different from, you know, your race? I'll be right back. I'm getting ready. I'm just going to grab a soda. Because I sip the soda. Yes, I do. I sip the soda. Yeah. All right. My mouth was getting kind of parched there. 2 hours of yapping. All right. Only Latino men. 2 hours of yapping. All right. Only Latino men. Okay. White men, Latino men other than white men, they all burn me. Wait a minute. Okay. White men, Latino men other than white men, they all burn me. Wait a minute. So Latino and white men burned you? Coincidence? The fire was too hot? Coincidence? The fire was too hot? You got to define burn. You know what I'm saying? They left you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They loved you and left you. They cheated on you. You know what I'm saying? What do you mean they burned you? They were just playing with you. They were never serious. You know, what'd they do? They gave you a fake ring. You mean they burned you? They deceived you? They stole your money? They drove off with your new car and never came back with it? How'd they burn you? Oh. Yeah, they cheated on you. Yeah. You were the other woman. Yeah, you were the other woman, Tan. You know what I'm saying? Your husband's nationality now is what, white? Latino? Latino? Mm-hmm. See, now you got a good one. Now you got a good one. See, being the other woman. All right, so back when I was dating, when I was 30, 32, 33, I was dating real hard. I had about 8 women who were all interested in me at the same time. And this is when I was, pretty much at my prime. I was as fit as I could. I was as strong as I'm probably stronger now. I'm stronger now than what I was then, but I was more fit. I was lighter weight, probably weighed about 220, something like that. Had a 6-pack, 8-pack, you know what I'm saying? Doing it. Had a little office job, I worked at the House of Representatives, I was clean every day, suit and tie. Yeah, so a lot of women were paying me mind because they liked the whole fact I was suit and tie. They liked the position I was in, and I was sought after. But nonetheless, what I found out was, because I tried to have just one girl, but what I found out is the women that I was dating wanted me to have a bunch of women. And I'm like, I'd rather be with one woman. You know what I'm saying? Having a bunch of women is just too much noise. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want the noise, but I love the variety. I love the fact that it got to the point where I would have 5 different chicks come to my house and they would be sitting outside waiting for the other one to leave. It really got that bad. Like a chick would be sitting outside waiting for the chick who's in my house now to leave. And she knew it. She knew it. And then one would come in one door and go out the back, the next one to come in the next door. It was just a rotation. Some of them worked with each other. It got to the point where it's when I was bad. I was bad. I'm sorry. It got to the point where I would tell the one girl who's coming to see me to go pick the other. I'd be like, look, she only works down the street. I know she wants to come over. Go get her. And she would go get her. And it would. But none of those women wanted to be my woman. They loved the fact that I had a bunch of women. It was strange to me because I'm like, hey, these girls getting jealous? Shouldn't they be jealous of each other? No, the more Spanish girls are hot. Oh, yeah. I've been to Spain once. But these women love the fact that I had other women. Okay, so story time. I went to this club, right? Went to this club by myself usually. Bunch of women in there. You know what I'm saying? I go in there, don't really know anybody at first. Then I recognize a young lady. She's like, hey, Tone. I was like, hey, what's going on? Talking to her. And she had a model friend with her. She was cute. We got to talking. Next thing you know, a bunch of women in there turned their head and was trying to figure out who I was. I'm standing there talking to a chick, and another chick came by and rubbing her arm against me. I'm just like, wait, like, don't you see me talking to her? Like, so disrespectful. Didn't even care. Didn't even care. Like they get that aggressive where they run it. I mean, another chick came up, started talking to me. I'm like, you don't know if this is my one. But they didn't care. They wanted a part of whatever was going on. I didn't go home with any of them. But what I found out is when you say you were the other chick, but it's weird because a lot of times guys don't know. Like you get a woman who's like super jealous, and then you find out that the jealousy is like turning her on. Like I had a woman who was like super jealous. Like she was a red hot, jealous fireball of a woman. This woman was jealous. She's gorgeous too. Woo! She was jealous. So she's at home. She's sitting on my lap, at my crib. My phone rings. First, she acting like she don't want to give me no affection. And I'm not really sweating it, but I'm looking at her like, why are you acting this way? We in the house, we adults. What's wrong with you? She acting like she don't want to be touched, because she know I want some loving. But since I want it, it's a problem. I'm like, okay, like you keep playing around with me. You already know what it is. But I ain't even saying that to her. I'm just like, okay, whatever. My phone rings. Phone rings. I pick it up. It's another chick that I'm dating. Turned her completely on. She jumps on me. She's all over me, kissing on me and whatnot. And listen, she don't even tell me to get off the phone. She's all over me and she's not making any noise. It's turning her on that I'm on the phone with another chick, but nonetheless, you are super. See, it's sometimes you don't really know what's going. You don't know, because some chicks want you to have somebody. They want to chase you. They want to cry in the corner. They want to go to their girlfriends and fuss about how their man is doing them wrong. But when it comes to a good guy, roses. I even tried that. Roses, bringing girls. Man, I used to buy roses, dog. I used to buy the good roses. Buy a girl some roses, the face and the whole. Ooh, yeah, me and you think that kept up with a woman? No, they take those roses and throw them away. It's not what they wanted. They wanted me to smoke weed and have an earring and run around and just have a bunch of hoes. They wanted to be the chick to we can't figure it out. We don't know why women do that. It's like you get a woman, you lock her down, me and you, baby, all day. Oh, no, she cheats on you. Why? I'm home every day. I buy you what you want. I love you. I compliment you. You got kids. I take care of your kids. Not my kids, they're your kids. I feed the little brats. I do everything. I fix the cars. I make sure you're up and running. I compliment you every freaking day, and you still go out and you're on your knees at some stranger's house? This happens all the time. And I know it happens because I used to be the stranger. I used to be in both positions. I was the boyfriend and I was the stranger. And I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. I don't understand women. I'm afraid of you. I admit it. I'm afraid of being in love. For any of you who are married, big ups to you. I admire the married woman and the married man. I admire them. I admire the threshold that you stepped over and overcame. I admire you. What's going on? Hey, Miss Nicole, how you doing? Long time no speak. Somebody don't be cut around me not no more. What's up with you? Miss Nicole, educated woman. Yeah, give me the truth. What up? Give me the truth. Yeah, I admire the married woman and man. I admire the union, the unity. Yes, it is. I'm doing all right. We talking about, marriage. We're talking about dating. We're talking about dating outside of your race. I don't know what your situation is. You can fill us in if you like. This is even better, Miss Nicole, what your preference is. So we don't really need to get in your business, but for the conversation, what is your preference of man? What is when I say preference, I don't mean just race. I mean, like, what is some of the things that you look for in a man? Like, what is your criteria? You know what I'm saying? Okay, hey, what's going on? Glad you're back, Man in Clouds. It's an interesting conversation, Man in the Clouds. And I did this because I wasn't getting women to talk to me on a sports issue. But I wanted to give women a chance to jump in on a good conversation. So that's why I titled it the way I did. I am dating, but prefer handsome men of all races, except for Asians. Wow. Wait until you listen to the beginning of this conversation. Except for Asian. Fit, tall, nice face, clean. Great job. Boom, there it is. Yeah. Well, thanks, Man of Clouds. So she likes every race except for Asians. Like the whole world except for Asia. All of you are good, but this little part of the world, nah, I'm good. All of you are good, but this little part of the world, nah, I'm good. Do you want to clue us in on that? Or why except for you guys right here in this little peninsula? Nah, I'm going to skip that whole peninsula. What is it, about 10 million of you? 20? All 20 million guys. Nope. Not going to happen. You got some Asian in you, don't you? Can't do it, brother. You look nice, though. Great job, but just the fact that you're can't do it. Nice try, though. So why not? I mean, the whole of Asia. I can't say any continent. I can't exclude any continent. I just can't. Unless they are mixed like Tiger. Okay, so you like Blasian. I ain't mad. Blasian people are good-looking people. You can't tell Tiger Woods not. No, he think he's about 9 different nationalities. Like Tiger Woods, you're black. But Blasian people are good. That's what we were talking about earlier. Blasian people are good-looking people. I'll date a Blasian in a minute. I'll be like, hey, Blasian, baby, what up with you? You girl, come get some of this soda. Oh, give me the truth. You on the foot game. You hitting them with the toe game. I see you. I ain't mad. Shoot. Because some ugly toes will turn you off. You can't be all nice up here and then work down to the toe and you crip walking like that. Nah, you can't have the one toe on the other one. Oh, hey, she may got a fatty though. You might have to take that toe and kind of put a Karuchi the young chick. Hey, look, man, I'll date a woman in a minute. I don't know who that is. I dated the Karuchi chick. That's Chris Brown, one of his chicks, right? And she's a good-looking girl. Now, she may not be right in the head, but as far as her looks, yes, I don't care. Especially if she around, what, 25 or something? No, she kind of young. I'm black from London, 50%. Yeah. In a relationship, don't blink them out. Yeah, no, they don't. Yeah, Chris Brown's ex. I mean, yeah, I don't think she right in the head. She got a lot going on, but yeah, I've seen her before. Yeah, okay. She's close to 29. I would date her. You know what I'm saying? I get 18, 19-year-olds roll up on me because they all think that I'm 30. I literally do. I had a 15-year-old roll up on me a couple of years ago, like 2 years ago, and she was tall. She was like 5'8". You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's what I said, because we was downtown, so it wasn't like we was an exclusive place. She was trying to sign people up for we have a wellness walk. We have a wellness walk here for African Americans. They do it every year. So these place, she was trying to sign people up for we have a wellness walk. We have a wellness walk here for African Americans. They do it every year. So these girls was promoting it to try to get black men to come out to this event. And the one chick started to hit was promoting it to try to get black men to come out to this event. And the one chick started to hit on me, and I was like, okay, but you're kind of young. You know, she was like, yeah, how can I get in touch with you? And I was like, how old are you? Because I'm looking at her, and then the way she was speaking made me think, you ain't even, you nowhere. And then the way she was speaking made me think, you ain't even, you nowhere near north of 20. So I was like, so what are you, 20 years old? She's like, she didn't even say no. She just went like this. And her friend standing right here, she just went. I said, what, 18? She was. I said 16. She said, I turned around and ran. And when they called, I never answered the phone. I ran across the street. I said, I gotta go. And I booked it up out of there, man. I never saw her again. I never looked back. All I saw, I did. All I saw was a jail cell when she said that. When I was like, are you 16? She shook her head. No, I didn't let her finish the sentence after that. I got the hell out of there. I was like, statutory limits in Ohio is 16, and I wasn't even going there. But when you shook your head no at 16, I was like, honey, oh my God. But I get young girls hit on me too. They think I'm young. I'm like, no, I have to remind people all the time, I'm 50 years old, 50. Okay. Oh, Nicole, listen, I got out of there. Oh, okay, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Man in the clouds. But listen, if she was 20, 21, I could have. Yeah, I'm every bit of 50 years old, man. I got the extra bowling ball belly. It ain't too bad, but a lot of soda. Yeah, man. If she was 20, which I really thought she was, but if she was 20, I would have. You know what I'm saying? We could have went out and got something to eat. What I was gonna do, I was gonna invite her and her friend out. I was like, let's go get something to eat, because it was no big deal to me, you know. But when she started shaking her head, no, man, I got shook. Thank you. Yeah, I'm every bit of 50 years old, man. So I got shook. But she's not the only, young lady who's ever hit on me. It's just, I'm good. So, I'm like, if you're like 25, yeah, I know you're not going to stay with me at 25, but, 25, I'll talk to you. We can go get something to eat. I don't mind that at all, because it gives me a perspective, on people who are younger than me, Plus, it makes me feel good that somebody that young is interested in me. I've been hit on, I go to college too. Get my degree soon. So, I was at Columbus, State where I go, and a young lady hit on me. Yeah, and you know what? This is why I didn't look at the girl and scald her. This is why I didn't go, you gotta be, you out of your mind, because I know hormones kick in on some chicks when they're 9 years old. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I ain't got the brown hairline. Yeah, I wish more people were here too, but you know, I'm trying, man. It's a small channel. I don't even have 2,000 people, but I'm growing every day, man. But I appreciate the people who do come in. You know what I'm saying? One of these days it'll be popping. But to your point, Miss Nicole, hormones, I know that, you know, female hormones kick in some chicks 9 years old when they start their cycles, and then next thing you know, they're ready to, you know, they're starting to seek out. Some of these 10, 11-year-old girls is out there seeking out, you know, these, you know, 14, 15-year-old boys. And, you know, which is, to me, that's almost normal. It's almost normal for a 12-year-old girl, to me, seeking out a 14-year-old boy. That's normal to me. All the way up until like 16. That's kind of normal to me. But but then you have the cases where there's some of these 12-year-olds, they're seeking out grown-ass men. And yeah, they're seeking out grown-ass men because they're finding out that, you know, these men who are established 25, they have jobs, they have money. And it's like, okay, you're 12. Why are you worried about that? Well, they're looking at that because of what life used to be like before all these rules were made up. They're looking at the dowries and, you know, tribal times, and, you know, that's the way it was reared. It was like, I'm 12, I'm ready to go. Let's have kids. You know, I had a 17-year-old chick say to me, she said, let's get married and have a bunch of kids. I was 36 when she said that. My immediate answer was no. She said, why? She said, I'm a virgin. And I said, I can't, you're too young. And she couldn't understand why, because society. I was shook. I'm like, I'm not going to jail. You're beautiful, but I'm like, I'm 36 years old. I'm not going to jail. She saw me the next year. She said, I'm 18 now. What's up? And I was like, no, you're still too young. You know what I'm saying? So I never did. And then I saw her about a month or two ago. Now, this was 10 years ago or more. I saw her a month ago, and she was with a guy older than me. She was with, and she just took one. She was with, and she just took one look at me and turned her head. She was with a guy older than me. He had to be in his 60s. She was serious, and I was scared to death. And I could have married her legally, but I was like, but I started thinking to myself, if I marry you, have a bunch of kids with you, and then you start seeking out men your age, now we have to do the whole man who was established, and that's all she wanted. And I saw her with a guy older than me, and I was like, I was blown away at that, because I had to take a double take, like, is that who I think it is? It was her. She wanted an older guy. She has an older guy. That's it. She didn't have a whole bunch of kids, but she had an older guy. And I was like, see, some chicks do that. Now, it's frowned upon. You know, if I'm walking around with a 17-year-old, or, you know, women will just scald me, you know, even though it's none of their damn business. Somebody will try to say that I'm doing something wrong to this girl, or I brainwashed her, or whatever. But the truth is that girls that young, 15, 16, they've been seeking out older men for the longest time. It happens all the time. I don't encourage it, but it doesn't matter who encourages it. It's going to happen. Happens all the time. Now, the way the laws are set up, and the way the laws are putting these men in jail for this, I don't necessarily agree if the man is trying to marry the girl. I don't agree with that. But if he's just out there just knocking off teenagers, yeah, I think you're in trouble, guy. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they like the security. Yeah, boys don't have security. You know what I'm saying? When you got a man who's got a house or a nice apartment, he drives a nice car, he smells good, he works out, you know what I'm saying? these young girls are looking at this and compared to these goofy kids, goofy boys that are running around, and they're this is why women mature a lot faster than men, because they're already thinking about having kids. And to have kids and to be able to raise that kid, you're not going to do that with a goofy boy running around. Like, I can't with you, because you're running around at yeah. Yeah, I can't do that with you because you're running around here, you know, or you're trying to find yourself or sow your royal oats, or you're trying to get a scholarship in football or whatever, and that's fine. But right now, you know, I'm 13, and for some odd reason, I'm looking at this 22-year-old, 24-year-old who already has a job. And it's a weird thing, but yeah, Santa Claus is goofy. He's young. But it's a weird thing, but it happens. And but the only thing about it is when it happens, not unless it's under the Romeo and Juliet law, but that Romeo and Juliet law is only between 17 and 18 within some states, or 16 and 18. So there's an adult male or adult female, and then there's a either a 15 or 16-year-old, however that goes. That's Romeo and Juliet law. And then there's other laws that go into that. But, you know, there's a social experiment where this man who was like 65 years old was running around with a 12-year-old. And the girl had a wedding dress on, and he was like, I'm marrying her. Like, this is my wife. And so people were going off and they wanted to beat him up. And I'm just like, and the man kept saying, I married her by law. And I didn't look at the man and want to beat him up. Now, for one, they had the girl looking sad. I'm like, okay, she's 12. She just got married. Why does she have to look like that? Now, that pissed me off. Like, if this was true, which I knew it wasn't, that would piss me off because she looks like she got trapped. So if she's married, she would not. If she was happily married, she would not look like that. So if they took a situation where a happily married 12-year-old and a 60-year-old man by law, that actually can happen. Now, of course, people are like, you're sick. What up, man? People are like, you're sick. You know, that guy is sick. He shouldn't be with a 12-year-old. It's just like, do you guys even research the law? You're just going off of emotion, but you won't research the law, because he is not the one who's sick. It's the lawmaker who's sick. And I tell people all the time, I used to be a lawmaker. I used to work for the Ohio House of Representatives. And I tell people all the time, if you don't like the law, then petition the lawmakers. You know, most of what I did was handle calls from constituents. You know what I'm saying? I talked to the people. Those people called the Ohio House of Representatives, and they talked to the legislative aide, and that was me. Even when the legislator wasn't there, guess who's there? Me. He is not in office right now, okay? And when I don't mean like he'll be back at 3. I mean they're scheduled not to be here for the next couple months. You know what I'm saying? They're at home. So I'm handling all his work in his district. So I tell people, if you have a problem with the law and you see a 40, 50-year-old who married, I don't mean sleep with, I don't mean he raped, I mean he married a 12-year-old who was consented by her parents. By law, I don't mean sleep with, I don't mean he raped, I mean he married a 12-year-old who was consented by her parents. By law, don't go beat this guy up. Go to your lawmaker and say, I don't like this, this needs to change. You can do that. You know, but people won't do that because they want to seem like they're the righteous ones and want to beat everybody instead of doing what they should do, which if this looks wrong to you and it feels wrong to you, go to your lawmaker because they're the ones who allowed it to happen. Tell people all the time, you know, so I do recognize, you know, those situations are they're sticky. They're very, you know, people get, I put it to you like this. Remember Elizabeth Smart. Elizabeth Smart was taken by a man who was actually married. Hey, what's going on? Who was we're talking about relationships, who was actually married, and he, you know, he captured her and he did everything wrong. But if he was single and he went to those parents, she was 14 when this happened, and he went to the parents and the parents consented by law, he could have legally married Elizabeth Smart. But what he Yeah. Yeah, Marie's fine. Maria Nicole is fine. But what he tried to do, what he tried to do was a more archaic way of doing it. Was he tried to well, he didn't try. He consummated his marriage with her, and then he said, "You are now married to me." Yeah, that's what he did. He snatched her up, and then he slept with her right outside in the backyard, and then he said, "You're now married to me." So that's why he went to, yeah, that's why he went to jail. Yeah, you're a pretty girl. That's why he went to jail and, rape and all that, because that's exactly what he did, which, he got what he deserved, go to jail. You did it wrong. But if he would have went to the parents and said, look, I want to marry her, yada, 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 and the parents consented to it, then he would have done what is within the law. So that's just one incident that was very, very public. Elizabeth Smart is grown up now, but so I tell people, if you don't like stuff, call the lawmaker. Don't call the police and try to have a man arrested, because the police aren't going to do anything about it. They're not. The police are going to look at you. Hey, thanks a lot, man. The police are going to look at you and they're going to ask him for a marriage certificate. And when they get a marriage certificate that shows that she's legally married to him happily, and the parent's name is under that, there's nothing you can do about that. They're married by law. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, if you feel uncomfortable with that, I wouldn't even said nothing else to that couple. Once he said I'm married by law and he proved it, I would have just went to my legislator. Okay. Oh, something to Nicole? Yeah. Something to Nicole. She's a beautiful young lady. She's well, I'm not going to say what you do for a living. It's not bad. It's just her business. And yeah, we all need to, I think she's single too. And, she dates. Dating means I'm single. She's dating. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how old she is or nothing, but you young guys, man, hey, be about your business. Be about your business, young man. Be about that business. You know what I mean? Because if it was me, I'd be about my business, young man. All right? Dude, Nicole, man, go, girl. You fine, girl. I said, Pasodi to you, Nicole. Oh, she 28. Sodi. Woo, boy, I'm trying to tell you. If I live close, she'd be over here sitting on my lap laughing all night. But y'all better be about y'all business. All right? You wrote it in the comments. I'm trying to tell you, boy. Well, you lucky I don't live close by. Boy, train, planes, and automobile. Hey, I got a Sodi for you, Nicole. Yeah, I'm a vet too. Oh, you talking to Nicole? You trying to get on? Go on and do your thing, bro. Get on. Go on, get on. She's 28. She right. She right. What? 28, man. 28 is so fair game. 20. Let me tell you something about 28. For one, you're under 30. It's just like, oh, you still ain't hit 30. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, yeah. Plus you still got that little bit of, college bounce in you. You still got that shabloom blang. You got some good knees too. You still out there running. You exercising at 28. Come on, you still out there like, yeah, in the gym, like, yeah, see, there it is. You still, you know what I'm saying? She in the gym, stomach flat. Boy. Yeah. I see, I know. Stomach flat, booty looking right. You know what I'm saying? Checking out her booty every day in the morning. You be checking out the booty in the morning. You be like, yeah, what's that? Boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, boom, bap. Yeah, I know what's going on. Boy, she gonna, hey. Yeah, hey, we know the deal. You need to do that. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. You need to do that. You need to be in the mirror checking it out like, oh, I'm going to get me a, shoot, I'm going to get this all, yeah. I like when a woman get me a, shoot, I'm going to get this all, yeah. I like when a woman check herself out in the mirror, getting herself right like, oh, boom, bam. Because you got some raggedy looking people out here. You got some raggedy women out here. So if a woman spends some time in the mirror, getting it right, holding it down with the boom bam, coming out with the whip bop, boom, hey, we appreciate that. Hey, listen, I done told plenty of women who I wasn't interested in. Plenty of women who I wasn't. I done told plenty of women who I wasn't interested in. You look, I done thanked them. Like, hey, thank you. And they'll be like, for what? Be like, for looking so good. Thank you very much. And just keep rolling. I'm not interested in you, but you looking like $1 million right now. And I just want you to know I appreciate you. I'm a super shorty to you, Nicole. Ooh. That one for Nicole. 3 times a week, getting it. She be in the She career girl too. I can see her right now with the 3/4. I can see it right now. I bet I'm just gonna say it right now. I know you got a 3/4 2-piece with the blouse with the vest, the professional with the 3/4 skirt right above the knee with the hip. I know you got 3/4 with the heels, with the boom bam and the suitcase. I know you do. I know you got the 3/4. Career girl. Hey, there it is. What you getting, a master's degree? Hey, there it is. Hey, one of you young men better get on that before I go ahead and get a plane ticket. Going out there to see Miss Cole Shipsody. Y'all better get on that. That's what I'm talking about. Like, we need more of that flavor going on. You know what I'm saying? Black women being about something. You know what I'm saying? Because social media will fool you. Hey, you better watch your mouth. Jerome's in the house, better watch your mouth. Shoot, she fool around, push something on you, boy. Y'all know. Women is different nowadays. Women ain't taking no shorts, even in the bedroom. Ain't no woman sitting up there talking about, oh, I'm going to just let you. No, these women are strong for a reason. They strong for a reason. Hey, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something now. Oh, yeah, she worked from home. Mercifully, hey, but you know what? Jeans with the little, you got the jeans with the little rip in the rip in the thigh and the knee, and on the one leg, that's it. With the little T with the rip and the one leg. I know you do. I know you got the sexy jean popping off. I ain't mad. Yeah. See how good I am. I've been doing this for a long time. I went on her site and you don't even see her picture of her face. See what we all want to do. We all want to see what you look like. You know what I'm saying? We all want to know what you look like. But when you see her videos and you listen to her voice, you like, this is a woman right here. Like, this is a no, like, you can't shoplift the pootie over here. Like, that's not what's going on right here. This is a, you know what I'm saying? This is a what you coming with type of woman, right? And I ain't mad. Like, not even with an attitude either. I like that you can tell she ain't got a big attitude or she wouldn't be on here. Because a lot of women who, you know, get a little career, get a little something, they got an attitude. You don't need to, and I don't need to, well, you need to be single. Well, you need to be by yourself because ain't nobody trying to hear that every day in the morning. You know what I'm saying? But you can tell she ain't even got all that extra going on. I'm sure she'd knock somebody straight out. She'd knock one of you clowns out. But you can tell she ain't even got all that extra. You know, she got that. And I say get a master's degree. Yeah, I can tell. I can tell you ain't got all that going on. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I used to work in that arena. I done seen the pretty, you know, chick with the degree that wasn't worth the time of day. And lousy in bed. Like, you lousy in bed. Like, you have no sense of sexual direction. like there's, yeah, to have all that attitude, like, you have no type of sexual continuity. You know what I'm saying? If that is a word, can you say those words and get sexual continuity? Like, there's nothing to be congruent. You're just a body. Like, there's nothing congruent. There's nothing to be congruent. You're just a body. Like, there's nothing congruent. There's no. Girls with degrees don't impress me. You know what I'm saying? That don't impress me at all. The chicks who's down to earth but smart. I love a chick who can tell me something. I don't care if it's just about your profession. Listen, I don't care if you're a professional underwater basket weaver. Please tell me something about underwater basket weaving, because I ain't never done that before. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you are a professional underwater basket weaver, I'm all in on that. I'm like, what? I ain't never underwater. Yo, tell me about some underwater basket weaving. Because I ain't never done that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, her profession, she can educate somebody. And she matter of fact, that's what she does. She educates people in her profession. And I'm using her as a talking point, but I'm talking about the dynamic of the career woman themselves. You know, you have the career woman who's sought after. You have the career woman who's sought after, but some of them are shooting their own self in the foot. Some of these women, I saw this thing on YouTube where these women were talking to Steve Harvey, of all people not to talk to, was talking about they're single and they're wondering why they're single. You know, and why am I single? Well, you're single probably because your head wasn't in the direction of marriage when you first started off. You were probably chasing the wrong dude. And by the time you turn around and realize that, you know, your eggs is dropping, now you want to turn on your, it just doesn't work like that. Guys, we don't work like that. We don't go, oh, now you want to get married. It's yeah. Yeah, with the big egos. Oh, now you want to get married. Oh, now that you have all this money, now you want to get out. It doesn't work like that. Listen, when a woman wants to get married, believe this or not, it starts off being reared that way. Believe that or not. You are in the environment of people who were married and are still married. You start learning about that young, and you're like, this is what I want. Then you start heading in that direction. Then you start heading in that marriage direction. You could be 11 years old, but you looking at that 11-year-old that you just like, this is my husband. You ever see a kid do that to another kid? This is my husband. You ever see that? See a little girl say that to another little boy? This is my husband. Why would that even come out her mouth? You know why? Because she's reared that way. She knows exactly when she gets old enough, this is what she's looking for. And it's not necessarily that somebody beat it into her or, you know, but it's the fact that she heard it somewhere that this is how you're supposed to be. And that's the path she wants to follow. So when you get these women who are all of a sudden they you know, up jump the monkey, they're 30 years old and they're like, oh, I'm in a hurry to get married. Well, guess what? It's a good chance you might not get married. And if you get married in a hurry, you're going to get divorced in a hurry. You are. Because once the honeymoon is over, once you guys get done bumping uglies for a few months, it's going to be like, who are you? It's just like a woman wearing foundation and you wake up and she looks like somebody else. That's what's going to happen to your marriage. You're going to wake up and you're not going to recognize that person. They're going to have little things that's just going to, yeah, divorce rate is 50%. You can stay single. That's probably what's going to happen to me. But you can stay single, but it's not always you have to stay single. But you like I said, when you have that little boy and that little girl saying, this is going to be my, you know, even when they say this is my girlfriend, this is my boyfriend, that's still single-mindedness of I want this person and this person only. That can grow easily grow into marriage. You know, this is my husband. You know, you 5. What you know about this your husband? You know what I'm saying? A little 5-year-old boy, all of a sudden, this little 5-year-old girl talking about this is my husband. You know what I'm saying? But they're in that environment. And then everybody thinks it's cute. But as they grow up, you notice them two are growing up together. Next thing you know, they done lock, you know, they're locking lips and locking hips. And now they done locked each other into a marriage. And it happens all the time. So that thing with Steve Harvey, it just threw me because why did you get Steve Harvey? This is the man who cheated on his wife. Just because he wrote that book, Think Like a Man, and No Marriage is Wonderful, finding that person is hard. Yeah, finding that person's hard, and then dealing with because we have somebody who's married on right now. Tan is married. Tan could probably give us some really good lessons on being married. You know what I'm saying? But I don't listen. I tried to get married twice. Once when I was 19. I don't know if y'all want to hear that story or not, but you know, but I'll give you the short end of it. I wanted to marry a girl, and I'm telling you, no lie. I was a track star. I could have easily walked on to a scholarship. As a matter of fact, I ended up getting a scholarship for track years later, but that's how fast I was in running the mile. But I was 18 years old, about to turn 19. I wasn't doing anything. I had 2 invitations to 2 different colleges that I could have walked on a football team, and one of them was Penn State, the other one was Slippery Rock. So I had talent, potential. You know, my back was good back then. And this girl just stayed on me and convinced me to, you know, like, she was like, I like you, I love you. And I really didn't want her. But then I started looking at the potential of us together down the line. And that made me want her. But I was like, listen, okay, you want to be my girlfriend? You know what I'm saying? I was thinking you want to be my wife, you know? So I started talking to her like that. I was like, look, if we do this, I'm not just going to be, you know, I'm going to marry you. Now, her situation, she was close to 400 pounds. Literally. No lie. But beautiful in the face, but she was literally round. She was a big girl. Big girl. You know what I'm saying? But she was a big girl. But here was my thing, Nicole. She was a big girl, but she was notoriously pretty. Everybody was like, she's one of the prettiest girls we ever saw. She had a really pretty face. And I was like, I was looking at that and I was going, you a big one, but you pretty. So what did I think? I'm an athlete who runs the mile. That's what I do. I run the mile in 4:26. I'm out there running all the time. Her father was a coach. This is why me and him got along so good, because he thought I could go to the Penn relays and win. So he loved my talent. Yeah, you're small. You're a small man in clouds. Right now, I'm about 269 or 267, somewhere around there. But nonetheless, so the dynamic between me and her father was great. Her mother loved me. They were together, and they had 5 kids, an adopted one. She had great family values. This girl was great. We met in church, everything. Great. But she was 400 pounds. I was like, she was black, chocolate like me. I was like, yeah, we could have some. And I started thinking, man, I will knock you up. I will put one of the bubblegum rings on you and marry you, and I will straight knock you up like right now. I will knock you up all day. We were both 19 years old. I was like, I'll knock you up. But she was 400 pounds. So this is what I did. I started talking to her. And I said, listen, I would marry you, and I don't mind. I said, but you have to lose weight. I said, this not even a choice. You have to lose weight because you're only 19. And as we get older, things slow down. We get it, you know how it goes. You don't want to work out as much. And I was like, what I can't do is I can't marry you and you stay like this. We have to do something, because if you have kids, if we have kids, and you die, then I got to explain to my kids what happened to their mother. And I said, I don't want to do that. So for about a year, she was morbidly obese. So for about a year, I was talking to her family. They knew that was my girlfriend. I loved her. They knew we loved each other. Everything was going good. And then I talked to her mother about going into the military. And her mother was like, you're not doing nothing. You're just spinning your wheels. And then, of course, I was thinking I could marry my girl and, be have a whole military thing. Now I'm making money. I could afford a family and everything was kind of going right. So I went into the military. I would call home. That was still my girl. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking to her. But now I'm starting to look at military girls. What up? What up? We talking about relationships. But now I'm starting to look at military girls. I'm starting to look at women out there running a mile in 5 minutes like me. I'm starting to look at chicks who's doing 70 sit-ups and beating me and doing sit-ups, knocking out men push-ups like nothing, talking about some, oh, Lord. It was all bad. It was all bad from there. They look like Nicole. They was looking like Nicole all day. And just imagine, not a couple of Nicoles, thousands of them. When you get to Fort Dix, New Jersey, and when you get there and you get in your little thing, it's like Morehouse College times 10. And they're everywhere. Yeah, no, not Anna Nicole. The Nicole is on here, Marie Nicole. She's beautiful. It's like having about literally probably about 5,000 to 6,000 of women running around looking like that. So I'm like, I'm calling home. I'm trying to stay right in my mind. So I'm telling her, and I'm like, listen, let's try this again. I need you to start working on your weight. And I talked to her, like I said, for about a year even before I went to service. And she kept telling me, she kept giving me excuses on top of excuses. I said, listen, I'll start off walking with you. Her father lived on a hill. We walk up that hill. You definitely going to lose weight. I'll start out, walking. I said, then we can get in running later on, but you need to get in shape because you're morbidly obese. I don't want you to die and just have kids. And, then I got to explain where you are. And she kept telling me no. And once I touched down in New Jersey and saw all of that potential, I was calling her and I'm just like, listen, you need to get with the program. And then the last thing she said to me about it, she said, I'm on the phone with her. She said, the reason why I don't want to lose weight is because all the boys will start wanting me. And I thought in my head, yeah, you're beautiful, but you'd be my wife. Who cares? Yeah, you're beautiful, but you'd be my wife. Who cares what they want? She didn't want the attention of other men on her, which is kind of like, but nonetheless, you're talking about dying. Yeah, yeah, but you're talking about dying. Yeah, Anna Nicole, like really, bro? When I want to leave a woman alone, I tell her, you need to lose weight. No, I was telling her you need to lose weight. And it wasn't for me leaving her alone. It's because I wanted to be with her. And I was like, you have to lose weight. And she wouldn't do it. And that once she said it's because I wanted to be with her. And I was like, you have to lose weight. And she wouldn't do it. And that once she said that to me about other guys looking at her, my next phone call to her, was heartbreaking because I broke up with her. And I just told her, I said, I can't do it. And we were engaged. I said, I can't do it. 10 years down the line, she was engaged to another guy, and he did her just dirt. They should have been an automatic leave for you. Yeah, once she told me she wasn't gonna, stay healthy, and I was looking down the line. I was looking at children. I was looking at a family. I was looking at being with her forever. I loved her. I loved her family, but I couldn't get past it. And like I said, about 10 years down the line, another guy she was engaged to, he dropped her and just started dating somebody she knew. And maybe about 2 or 3 years after that, she had an asthma attack. She had a heart attack and she died. Yeah. I knew it was going to happen. I would have been around 32. Yeah. And my sister, because my sister knew her too. And my sister told me, she was like, yeah, you remember your girlfriend so-and-so? She's like, she died. She said, Tony, she just got bigger. She said she got so big that when she got into the car was leaning. She did exactly what I said was going to happen to her. And I was trying to get it out of her at 19 years old. I was like, you don't understand. Like, you are in a case of emergency right now. You're morbidly obese right now. You're going to get bigger. Trust me. So I was really trying to push her to, like, come on, let's, like, every day I saw her, I was like, come on, let's go do something. Oh, she was big, man. She was big. And that's the last person I ever dated that big. You know, people say, love somebody for their heart. I did. I loved her. I loved her for her heart, but I knew her body wasn't going to, I knew it. And if we would have had kids, like, if I would have married her, I would have married her at 20 years old. Like, you know what I'm saying? When she died, my kids would have been teenagers. Just think about that. I wasn't going to put a child through that. That's when that was it for me. It broke my heart, man. It broke my heart when she died, but I knew it. I knew it. I told her she was going to die. I was like, I can't do it. And it just hit her all at once. It was just her body grew this way so much that it just, yeah, her body grew this way so much that her heart finally just crushed under. It was just, she started breathing heavy one day. And they said when they got her into the hospital and they was trying to recover her and they saw her blood was pink. I was like, wait, what? Her blood was so oxygenated, it was like it couldn't get oxygen. Her blood turned colors because she couldn't get enough air. Like, it was just, yes, people. Thank you for stopping by, Mr. Cole. You guys don't forget to check out her channel. And she's single, no matter what she says. She's single, you guys. Go ahead, one of you guys go ahead and get on that, wipe her up. She looked good. But yeah, her blood was pink. And I just, that whole situation bothered me. That whole situation it never sat well with me. And I was shocked from there. And I never dated anybody that big, seriously. I never dated anybody that big again. Because I was like, no, I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing it. I've dated some thick girls. I don't mind some thick girls, but obese, I'm not doing it. I don't care how much you love me. I don't care how good your pancakes are. I don't care how good your pancakes are. And some of y'all be cooking some good pancakes. I don't care how good your pancakes are. I'm not doing it. So most of the women I date are very athletic. You know, even now, if I go after a chick, you know what I'm saying? Like one chick that tried to date me recently, her shape. I like athletic chicks. I like them for a reason. You know what I mean? Everybody's leaving. So, it's a sad story, but it's true. Still hurts me today because I can still see her face. I still think about her. You know what I'm saying? Lovely family. It just hurts. You know what I mean? But, here's a soda to her. She's a great person, though. And, yeah. But anyways, dating. So I don't date right now. Like I said, I'm too focused on school. And you know what? When I'm done with school, which is probably going to be another year and a half, I'm not too anxious to get out there. You would think a 50-year-old man, you need to get on the ball. Who lives longer? Women live longer than men. Healthy women, yes. Healthy women. Healthy women, for one, they do live longer. Two, they don't smoke. I can't stand smoke. Three, they may drink every now and then, but it's usually casual. Uh, their butt looks great. You know what I'm saying? You like what you're seeing every day. If they have a child, it just snaps back. The stomach just boop, snaps back. You know what I'm saying? One of the biggest things is, one of the biggest things about healthy women is, for one, they have their libido is great. You know what I'm saying? So you got somebody who wants you, you know, physically, so you guys can, you know, make love to each other. That's awesome. And as you get older, you know, things start happening. You might get a little feminine women live longer. Just kidding. Yeah, when you as to non-feminine women, but when you have a chick like that who's into health, also when something happens to her mood, like she doesn't get down as much as somebody who doesn't work out. Like depression doesn't hang around them too long. It's like they're usually depressed about a situation instead of just depression itself. You know what I'm saying? Because depression will kill you, literally. So, you know, when they get down about something, and everybody does, it's just like they're upset about it, then their recovery system's different. It's healthier. Also, if they get some type of injury, they bounce back from the injury better, you know, faster, you know, and sometimes stronger. Like they'll do something athletic to offset whatever the injury is. You know what I'm saying? So it's just interesting because they're just like, I can't wait to get off of this bed. This is not where I belong. And they'll get up and now they're out there running a half marathon or something. You're just like, okay, you got one leg. I'm like, what are you doing? You know, I'm just saying. So, you know, health is a big thing to me. A healthy woman is a big thing to me. But I don't need somebody who runs a half marathon. I just... Yeah, well, I just know, you know, some of the things like you're eating now, like this isn't the best thing to drink. So I don't do this much at all. You know, this is Canada Dry. But, you know, I'm not sucking down Canada Dry every day. I used to, and I cut that out. You know what I'm saying? So people have little vices. Like this is one of my sugar vices. But, you know, when you get somebody who's cake and cookies every day, it's just huge. It's just like, that's not healthy. You know what I'm saying? And if I was like 30 and I was looking at that, I'd be like, no way I'm going to have babies with you because I don't want a bunch of fat kids, you know, run around here who think it's just okay to be morbidly obese at the age of 4 years old. Like, I'm not promoting that. And they say, oh, they're just a child. They're going to be a dead child. Yes, I drink a lot of water. Got some right here. I drink water every day, a lot of water. You know what I'm saying? You can probably tell that because of my skin. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a bunch of wrinkles. I don't have a bunch of wrinkles in my face and stuff like that. And you guys can get a closer look at me. You can tell that I just don't. I have a couple here. One of these is actually a scar. This right here is a scar. It goes all the way around my eye. I was bitten by a dog. I was bitten by a dog named Rex when I was 8 years old. See the scar right here? That's actually a scar. It's not a wrinkle. That's a wrinkle, but this is a scar. So, yeah, I drink a lot of water. I wake up. I have water in my bed. I have bottled waters in my bed. Like, I just bought a case of water today. Yeah, it does. Like I have a case of water in my bed. I usually have a bunch of water right here. Like as soon as I walk down my stairs, there's a case of water sitting there. So I'll just reach in, grab some water, keep on, come on up the stairs. So, you know, when I wake up in the morning, first thing I do, drink some water. So I down the water, you know, I get busy. But like I said, I'm 50 years old, so I don't look 50, and some of that is because of my parents, and some of that is simply because of my diet. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't even drink alcohol. You know what I'm saying? I do try to work out about 3 times a day. Even though I got a little gut, you know what I'm saying? But I do try to, but I don't hit the gym as much, you know, because I got horrible knees and my back is hurting all the time. But I go to gym maybe once a week, twice a week. You know what I'm saying? Bench press. I'm saying my max bench press right now is 315. That's after my workout. My max bench press is actually about 325, 330. If I was just going in there to max. But after my workout, I hit 315. But I'm going to stop doing that and work more with dumbbells because I have a torn labrum. Yeah. I don't. You probably got hit after that too, but but yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's any more ladies on here, but drinking water is a very, very wise thing to do. You know, flushing out your system. You know, I don't eat meat anymore, so there's a bunch of toxins that I don't put in my body. I do eat fish, but sometimes I have, just have I don't even have that. A lot of times I'll make my own pizzas and it won't have any meat on it at all, anything like that. It's not necessarily a cleansing like a colon cleanse. I'm not doing all that. It's just that there's some things I don't want to put in my body, so I slowed down or stopped doing it. I used to drink Canada Dry all the time, but I buy a case of it like once every 2 months. And I'll sip on that. And that's that. You guys, you younger guys, like Man in the Clouds is like real young, 85. You're real young. You know what I'm saying? Be at ease. I think you're young too. But I'm older than all you guys. And I'm going to tell you right now what you have to look forward to when you're 50. For one, you get discounts. You get discounts when you're 50. As soon as you turn 50, you get Chef Tone out here. Yeah. Well, I used to be a cook in the service before and after the service. But for one, when you're 50, you get discounts. You know what I'm saying? AARP will call you. You get discounts on your insurance. You get discounts if you got a good driving record. You get some discounts. You know what I'm saying? For two, you tell people that you're 50. You know what I'm saying? Some people will back up off you because you're 50. Like, look, I'm 50 years old. I'm really not interested. Some people will be like, all right, old man. You're going to hear old man a lot or old woman. They're going to call you old. This is why going to the gym is imperative. It is so important that you go to the gym. One, there's a community of other people there that's your age. Two, keeping your strength is so, so, so important because people know you're older. They will try you. They will try to take advantage of you. They will try your mentality. You will get people to try to step up to you and try to just look. Don't even give them that opportunity. When people try to step up to me, they realize that I'm 6'2", and I am about almost 270 pounds. If I sit on you right, you're not getting up, okay? So, all right, so if that's what the route you want to go, then okay, then fine, But them youngins, these young cats see me in the gym all the time. They don't even lift with me. They don't lift with me. They see me there all the time. They will not get under that bench with me. Because they can't lift as much as I can. And I got a bad shoulder, bad back, and terrible knees. Well, I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of people bigger than me. There's one guy who's bench pressing 290 10 times. 290 10 times. This dude is big. Okay? But when I look at him, I'm like, yeah, that's the person I need to keep up with. So it's good to go and see youngins at the gym and start lifting with them. That's a good practice because they'll make you strong. That's what you want to be. You want to be stronger. You know what I mean? Now, you're not going to be able to keep up with them in some things. You're not going to be as fast as they are. You're probably not going to run as fast as they are, but get out there and run if you can. Get out there and swim. Do all of that. You know what I'm saying? One good benefit about being 50 is you get a silver sneaker card. You know, you're 50. So yeah, shoot. Some people think they can take me. You know, I done had a couple of people think they can take me until, you know, I pretty much stood up on them. And when I mean that literally. I've had some people talk some crap to me, and you know, while I was sitting down, you know, and then I did one of these real slow. And the whole conversation changed. And then the conversation changed. And the whole conversation changed, you know, because they realized that, you know, I'm not a small person. And I was done talking. I was done talking. I was like, okay, well, if that's how you feel, you know, I just, you know, I stood up, and as one person said, you stood up and kept standing up. You know what I'm saying? And I just was looking at him like, what are we doing? You know, because I don't have time for your nonsense. And I done had one guy run up on me. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not as taller than me, but I'm not as wide as Suge, but I could easily be as wide as Suge in a couple months. Like my body type, I could easily get there. You know what I'm saying? But Suge was close to, yeah, Suge is almost 300 pounds. So yeah, I'm close to that. I'm close to that. You know what I'm saying? I walked in the store the other day and they were just like, what's wrong? I was like, what you mean? He's like, you know, you a big man. You look like somebody. I was like, nah, I'm good, man. Everything's cool. You know, so I realized that I am a big person. You know, I'm not the biggest guy out there, but I'm a sizable man. You know, but with this size, you know, I'm carrying all this weight on my knees. The size could easily turn the flab if I stop working out. You know, if I stop getting down there and knocking out push-ups, you know, if I stop going to the gym, and next thing you know, I'm 270 pounds of, you know, flab instead of 270 pounds of kick you in your teeth. You know what I'm saying? If I did that, I'd be trying to gather my chi. You know what I'm saying? Because I use that from the ground. But I don't know about all that. I know that I'm strong. I'm not the strongest guy out there. I'm definitely not the fastest guy out there. But I'm good for my age. And that's what I'm trying to get you guys to. You know, some of you guys might be competitive and still in that competitive mode. That's fine. You don't need to be the biggest person out there, but be good for your age. You know what I'm saying? 315 is a good benchmark to bench press. You know what I'm saying? For a man, or 225 10 times. That's a great benchmark. For somebody, you know what I'm saying? For somebody at any age, you can put up 225 10 times. Yeah. If you can put up, you know, 225 10 times, you know, that's a really good place to be. You know, 25, 10 clean ones, that's a good place to be. That's enough to get you, you know, up and get somebody off of you, you know. 315 isn't necessary, but once you start getting up 315, 330, 350, and getting to the 400s, you're looking at being more, it makes you more prone to shoulder injuries. That's how I got mine. So it's not so much a bodybuilding or being a power lifter or being able to knock somebody out, but it's being able to use your body to its fullest potential. So, you know, that's where I'm getting at, you know, and that's what you want. You always want to be there. You never know when you have to take a 10-mile hike. Car broke down, you know, it's 10 miles to the nearest gas station in the middle of the night, and you're in the middle of nowhere. Guess what? Guess what? Guess who got to walk? You have no signal. Guess who got to foot it? There's a sign right there that says nearest gas station 10 miles. It's the middle of the night. Get your flashlight or something, buddy, and you better start hoofing it. Battery's dead. That's it. You never know when that has to come up. Yeah. Yeah, if you can find one. There's some places where you're driving, you don't have no signal. And you got to huff it. I have some kegs downstairs, some beer kegs, empty ones. Every now and then I'll lift them. You know, they're empty, but I'll lift them and work out with them. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then I sell washer and dryers. So, you know, old ones. I can pick up a washer and dryer without a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to have to deliver them. But I can wrap my arms around a washer and just hoist it. You know what I'm saying? Around a washer or a dryer. I can pick it up, just straight up. And move it. You know what I'm saying? My back could be hurting. But nonetheless, my muscles, I have enough power in my muscles to do that. You know what I'm saying? Without a dolly. I'm not talking about with a dolly. I'm talking about without a dolly, I can take a washer and dryer and pick it up. Hell, I can probably toss a washer and dryer and pick it up. Hell, I can probably toss a dryer because they're, you know, they don't weigh as much. I can probably get up under one of them and take the whole thing. And so I like being strong. You know what I'm saying? I like going to the gym and putting 225 over my head. Well, I wouldn't say that, you know, but I like being able to do that stuff. You know, I've moved the whole refrigerator by myself. And the woman I was delivering it to, she was like, "Why don't you let me help you?" And I was like, "No, I got it." She didn't understand. She's like, "Why don't you let me help you?" I said, "Because I like being strong. I like being able to, you know, move this damn refrigerator by myself." And then, you know, I delivered a dryer to her, or a stove. I delivered a stove to her cousin. And she wanted to help me. And I was like, "No, I got it." She's like, "You strong, ain't you?" I was like, "Well, yeah." You know, and she's like, "How old are you?" And I was like, "I'm 50. You know, they didn't want to believe it, but I'm like, "Yeah." You know what I'm saying? Especially with your little cheating ass pencil neck boyfriend you got in there. Little pencil dude, you crying over it, little cheating ass. You know, and no, I was probably, you know, I know her cousin did, well, the one girl did. I knew she liked me, and her cousin was probably looking at me in some kind of way, but I never went back, so I don't really care. But you know, I like being strong, and I, you know, for you young guys out there, be strong. You know what I'm saying? Even with the calisthenics, knocking out push-ups, you know, knock out 40, 50 push-ups. You ain't got to always go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? Do 200 push-ups a day. Do them elevated. Put your feet up on the stairs. Elevate them. You know what I'm saying? Get it. Be strong, man. Because what you do today, you'll feel tomorrow. If your body is strong now, when you get 50, your body will be strong. I'm not strong because I just started lifting. I'm strong because I never stopped. Lifting. I'm strong because I never stopped. I never stopped working out. Never. I was either running or lifting or doing some kind of calisthenic or trying to move something, you know, and I have spinal stenosis. Yeah, there you go. And I have spinal stenosis. Yeah, there you go. Knock out some sit-ups. I got spinal stenosis. That's why I'm disabled. I'm telling you guys you're young now. When you get older, you don't want to be that dude. You don't want to be that guy who can barely move because he was just a sad sack when he was younger and now wishes he can still perform in one way or another. No, I had a young lady who liked me. She's like, I like you because you're strong. You know what I'm saying? A little pretty thing. She's like, I like you because you're strong. And I was like, okay. She said, because you lift weights. You know, the other guys that I deal with, they don't work out. She's like, you're strong. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't lifting for her. I was lifting because I like being strong. But women like it too. You know, I would take her and just hoist her up in the air every time I saw her. She'd come over to see me and want me to pick her up. So I just pick her up like, she'd be like, you think you're strong. I was like, well, you think you're pretty. So, we had that relationship. You know what I'm saying? My baby's mama is a little short thing. She liked me because I was strong. I'm tall and I'm strong. So, like I said, I ain't the strongest guy, but I'm telling you guys, be strong. You know what I'm saying? Some push-ups, get yourself a little dumbbell. I got a little 35-pound here. See my little 35-pounders over here. A little 35-pound. Get it in with it. I do some shoulder stuff with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, women love it. You know what I'm saying? This isn't, 35 pounds is, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, women love it. You know what I'm saying? This isn't, 35 pounds is a good amount of weight, but you ain't got to be the Incredible Hulk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I can curl 50 pounds 10 times. You know what I'm saying? I can sit up here and curl 50s like this. I can curl 60s. Every now and then I'll go to the gym and lift some 60s. Sitting there curling 60s like this. Curling them 60s, man. Then I got my 8 pounds. Yeah, you gotta be. You got your little 8 pounds right here. Take my little 8 pounds and, you know what I'm saying, work on my hand speed. Wear you out, but it's good stuff. You want to knock somebody out, punch them in the chest, bam! Shut up! These will make you tired real quick. They'll keep you young. You know? Ladies love that stuff, man. Ladies love a fit dude. Ladies love a strong man. Move a couch. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You can't move the couch, what good are you? Honey, can you move the couch over just about, They don't want the couch moved. They just want to see you move the couch. Yeah, 8 pounds. Makes your punch harder, makes your reflexes faster. They don't really want the couch moved. Can you just, they just, they just want to, see you do some man stuff. Can you just move the couch over? I don't know. You move the couch and then they'll be like, it was better where it was. You looking at them like, what's wrong with you? They're being a woman. That's what's wrong with them. You move the couch back and then she'll tell you to come in the bedroom. Or she might just jump you right there on the couch. Okay, sit down and jump right on you. All she wanted. I'm just saying. Be strong, guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who's left. Who's left in here? Who that? Who that in here? Somebody just got in here. I think all the ladies are gone. Yeah. You know, so if one of the ladies still here, women and men, be strong. Because guys like strong women. We just don't like hulkified women. You look like the incredible bulk. I don't want my woman looking all bulked up. Yeah, that's what they want. You just pick this up. They like that. You know what I'm saying? Can you move this over here? Like, yeah, can you just move this over here? I just wanted to see it in the light. You'd be like, can you turn around and bend over? Because I want to see that ass in the light. No oblige you. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Pick this up, move this, get the chapter. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I was younger, man. I ain't even asked my girl for anything. I just ran up on her ass. You know what I'm saying? I was younger, man. I ain't even asked my girl for anything. I just ran up on her ass. She didn't like it. She ain't deal with me, but she obviously liked it, so she dealt with me. I ain't ask her nothing. I just ran straight up on her. Ain't no conversation, no nothing. Just snatch her up like, yo, this is what's happening right now. She was okay with it. That's why she liked me. Because I was real aggressive, especially after I got done running. Yeah. After I got done running, I'd run past her house. I'd go and ring her buzzer. She knew it was me. Who is it? Like, let me in. Oh, who is it? You know who it is. Let me in. She'd open our door. It'd be on. You know what I'm saying? Put my stuff on and run home. Like later, I'm good. She'd call me later. She wasn't even mad. She knew what it was. You know what I'm saying? I had all that energy. I'm just like, oh, I'm about to come over there and see you. Then I'd run home and then she'd come over later on that night. We'd go and get something to eat. Just a relationship, you know what I'm saying? She's cool with that, you know what I'm saying? I don't date now, but that's the life I was living back then. It was pretty cool too, because I used to run this. I had a course that I ran in like 26 minutes. Lots of running. I did lots of running. It's pretty good at it. Anywho, so I'm about to go. I've been talking for 3 hours. Woo! I got mad homework to do and I got a test coming up. Anyways, be at ease. You be at ease. I don't know who else is on here, but I appreciate you hanging around with your boy. Listen, God loves you guys, and take it easy, all right? Deuces.